Well, hey. Welcome back to the cafe. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys for jumping back in tonight for the late show with me, the Dago. I hope you guys are having a great night tonight. And I appreciate you all joining me tonight for this as we jump in here just to talk about a little bit of everything. There's some updates on some things and stuff I want to talk to you all about and just hang out and have a good old time tonight. So thank you guys for joining me. Please share this out to anybody and everybody you think would be up this time of night and want to hang out and talk to us as well. I appreciate it so very much. So, guys, that being said, well, you know how it goes. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Great to see ya. Good to be here. Hope you're great. Come on in. Let's do this thing. Welcome back, everybody, to the late show with the Dago. That's me, by the way. That's me. It's great to see you guys, and I am grateful to have you here. And I appreciate y'all taking your late nights and spending them with me. I do appreciate that very much. Thank you guys for joining us, me and Salty and Mr. Joe Schmo, for the earlier show. I appreciate that very much, and I hope you guys got something out of it or enjoyed it in any way, shape, or form. I do hope that. So come on in, guys. Grab your coffee, tea, whatever it may be. Come on in here, sit down, please, and have a conversation with me. I'm lonely old me. Share it out, guys, if you will. Go grab any other lonely peeps like me and bring them in here. Have them hang out with us so we can talk about a few different things. Come on, everybody, come on. Again, please make sure when you're coming through that door, you're hitting that like button, guys. We got 23 people in here right now with 19 likes. Let's try to make that match up if we can. Come on. Y'all are appreciated so very much. Please hit that like button and then please share it out. Come on. Thank you, Miss Andy, for that. I appreciate you very much. Let's see here. Show. Hold on a minute here. We might have a guest up here with me tonight. Let me see. Let me see. Uh, yes, we definitely do have some updates. I have an update on the Josh Zimmerman situation. There's actually a change. Thank you, Andy. Again, thank you to anybody that donates to these links here, guys. Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. It is definitely not something I expect from anyone, but I definitely do appreciate it because it helps me to pay these little bills here that runs the YouTube thing. So thank you for that. And thank you, Andy. Miss Kimber, is that a Kimberfoot?
Oh my God, it is a camera foot.
Yes, I smell it. It is a Kimberfoot. Hello. How are you?
So what are you saying? I stink.
No, it was a good smell.
I just showered. I mean,
That's a
God,
good no, lady. No. Like like the female squatches, they smell good. The male ones, forget about it. It's a bagazi.
well,
Anyway,
okay, all right. As long as the camera foot, as long as the female camera foot smell good, then we're all right.
the Andy squatch, the Kimber feet, they're females, so they wear like squatch fumes. Like perfume.
Squat fumes. That could be fart fumes.
Well, if that's the case, then let me move away from you, okay?
I don't have any fart fumes, man. I got rid of all
Uh,
them earlier.
you're
You're
good.
lucky.
You're good. You're good. You're
You're
good.
lucky. You're lucky.
I guess so. Welcome. Thank you, Doodle. And how are you? How you been?
I'm good.
Good. I'm sorry to hear about the personal situation in your family. My condolences and prayers.
Well,
I
thank you very much. She had a good long life.
right.
She was 99. She was 3 months away from 100.
God bless her.
Um, I mean, she will be missed,
Of course. Of
but
course.
she had a good long life. She's has been ready to go for several years, but her
They say
daughter, everybody told her the good Lord wasn't going to take her till he was ready. So, he was ready, and I'm sure it was a joyous reunion in heaven because she was the last of my mother's siblings,
oh yeah.
and so and
They're all
her
back they're all back
so
together now.
yeah, and she had lost a daughter and two grandchildren and her husband. So they, there was a reunion. They're all back together now. So
Absolutely. That is absolutely awesome. Good. I'm
so
glad to hear
everything is,
that. But of course, my condolences for your family, for those of you that will miss her, of course, is what I mean. So
yes, and yes, I understand, and it's just, I just to imagine, she lived almost a century. She saw things. But I was thinking about it tonight when I was laying and I'm thinking all the elders, the elders died. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we are the elders now. We are becoming the elders.
I know, isn't that
We are
weird?
becoming. Thank you, Leslie. We
Yes.
are we are becoming the elders.
That
When
is
you
so
look at it.
weird. So weird to say that too. I'm like I said, I'm gonna break 50 in November, and I'm sitting here thinking like, when the hell did I get to 50? I can remember like it was a couple days ago when being 30. You know what I mean? It's weird.
I know, Doodle, and you will see him one day. You
Ab-
will, honey.
Absolutely, hon. Absolutely. There's so many of us that, at some point we will have those reunions. And that's the best way to look at it, you guys, because it's the only way, in my opinion. Anybody, especially was she sick? If I can ask, Kimber, you don't have to tell me,
No,
but
no, no. She had a stroke probably. This is 2024. She had a stroke probably 5 or 6, maybe 7 years ago, 8
okay,
maybe. And that was the first time she'd ever been sick. So when she had the stroke, she moved in with my cousin and they sold her house. But that was the first time she had ever been really sick in her life.
that sounds
And
that
then
that
last year they diagnosed her with congestive heart failure and they put her on palliative care,
yeah.
which, that's hospice. But I mean, she lived another year after that. So, but her health declined from last Sunday to this Sunday and she had a couple of more strokes. So,
But that
but,
explains why she lived to be 99, because she had only just now gotten sick a few years ago. So yeah, I get
oh,
it.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's my wife's aunt Thelma. That's one of the main reasons why she needed to go down to Alabama, and she rode. That's why she went down regardless of the scenario. Rode down with my son. Her aunt Thelma is 104 years old, and you never know at that age when the last day is going to be. And they were very close when she was little, and she doesn't get to see her often because we live here, she lives there. And so any chance she gets to go, she goes because, that's just one of them things. So
Oh,
a
I'm
hundred.
probably sure when she got to heaven, I'm probably sure they were going, "What took you so long?" Because I mean,
Yeah.
like she was 99, and they've been up there going, "Where are
Well,
you
well,
at?"
that's what I'm saying. 99 years, guys, 104 years. Can you imagine what these people have seen over the period of 100 years and where we're at now? I mean, the advancements in technology, like for her, Aunt Thelma, for instance, told a story one time when I first met this lady about her motor car. That's what she calls it, her motor car. Okay. And, and how she wasn't allowed to drive no more. And she was this is the sweetest lady I ever met in my life till she swears it's hilarious. But, and how she wasn't allowed to drive no more, and she was just so pissed off about that, and so on and so forth. And her brother was standing there and said, "Well, Delma, honey, you're 100 years old. Like they don't give driver's licenses to people after a certain age." And but I'm fine, damn it, Billy. I can drive my damn motor car anytime and anywhere I want to. You can't tell me. That pisses me off. And blah blah. I was like, oh my god, it was so cute, but now she's still healthy too. She struggles to walk a little bit. Her eyesight's getting bad. She's starting to go deaf, but that's it. And it's crazy. And it's like you saw, and like I said, she was telling a story about a horse and buggy down there in Alabama where they're at, taking her to and from school, and the milkman dropping it off the back of his buggy and this and that. And now she's got a car. So they've been through that whole thing. Okay. It's like, good Lord Almighty, what have you seen and what that we would never imagine seeing? You know what I mean? It's crazy the thing and the presidents and the
Oh yeah,
years of
yeah.
progress. It's insane the things that they see. So the
And
stories,
my mom didn't grow. My mom and them, they did not grow up. They did not grow up rich by any means. They
right, right.
they grew up poor, and they were always proud of where they come from. They always had clean clothes. They always had food on the table. My grandfather, he was when I was growing up, he was a sharecropper.
Mm-hmm.
But they but I mean, they would tell mom would tell stories about her and my aunt Leon and my mom would tell stories about one time they had to go out. They were supposed to kill a chicken for dinner, and mom was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to hold the head on the chicken while Aunt Leona chopped the head off the chicken. And mom said every time she'd get close to it with the axe, mom would let the head of the chicken go.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
but I mean, just to think of what
Yeah,
she's seen since 1924 to
right.
now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like so many things have changed and the experiences that they've
And
had over that period of time.
oh
It's
yeah,
crazy. It really is. So
and
speaking of,
all of the things, and it's just amazing. I
yeah,
think of all the things that she saw. And I lost my mom. I lost my mom at 77. I lost my
mhm,
dad at 67.
right.
So stop barking. Sorry, y'all. My dog is acting crazy.
He wants to talk
Um,
too.
yeah, she's fixing to get in trouble. She's been acting crazy today.
There
But
you go.
just to think about what they saw, you know,
It's crazy,
and
isn't
it is. It's truly
it?
crazy.
Absolutely. I do agree. I've always said that. Speaking of crazy, what other crazy peeps decided to join us in here tonight? I wonder. Let me see real quick, guys. Give me 1 second, Miss Kimber. I see Doodlebugs back in here. Thank you. Romper, Stomper, Tomper, Boo. Tell me, tell me, tell me. Anyway, I ain't gonna do that. Hello, Tomboy. Welcome back to you, Doodlebug. Great to see you, Miss Leslie. Hello and welcome back. Captain Jax is back in the house. Welcome back, brother. Of course, Miss Kimber's up here with me. I appreciate you very much, Miss Kimber. Jaded 847's in the house. Hello and welcome back. Miss Cassie, hello, Irma Gerd, hello, Miss Sherry, welcome back to you. Thank you for that, by the way. And great to have you here. Steven's Adventure, good to see you again, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see, Robin Brown, hello and welcome back. Good to see you tonight. R Whip, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to have you here. Sarah, Maddie, welcome back to you. Appreciate you, Mary, very much. Miss Paula's back in the house. I don't have to go looking for her again. Welcome back. It was only a few minutes, but still, I expected. Miss JC, hello. You woke up. Welcome back. I did, Miss Sherry. Thank you for that, hon. Let me see here, Miss. Apollo's got her dancing shoes on all of a sudden. Did I get everybody in here? There's not a lot of you guys, but that's okay. Let me see. Walt Harris back in the house. What's up, Walt? Good to see you guys. Please share this out if you will. And please, please don't forget to hit that like button when you come through the door. I appreciate it very much. Stanley on. Hello. And I know a lot of people aren't getting notifications. I'm sorry about that, guys. It's because we're not in that algorithm anymore. We got to get it back to the algorithm. So please hit the like button.
I get a notification every time.
And some people do, some people don't. Probably because you're a regular watcher. And I found that if you're a regular watcher, you do get notifications because of the algorithm issues. If you're not somebody that watches me every single day, every single show, you may not get one. So please make sure if you are subscribed to hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything we do. And if you're not subscribed, then please subscribe and then hit the notification bell. And hopefully you do get a notification. And check if you're supposed to be subscribed, please check to make sure you are. If you're not, you may have to go out and unsubscribe and come back in. Sometimes it says it's a little weird. What I just said didn't make any sense, but these are the things I'm learning as I'm reading about it. I haven't got notifications in a few months. You don't like me no more. I get it. It's fine, Tomboy. Fine. Dixie Marie, hello and welcome to you. Girls. Welcome back to you. Good to see you. Number 28. Thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. 36 people with 30 likes, guys. We're getting there. Thank you. Margerd. Where's Andy at? Did I see Andy? I didn't see Andy. Andy don't like me no more either. I've gathered that when you don't come watch me no more, you don't like me. It's okay. I understand. You can pretend like you like me. Just come in and pretend. Where is the middle finger emoji? I love it, Tomba. That Tomba. Say it, Kimber. Tomba. Here we go. Welcome, Trina. Good to see you. Leslie Petrolakis, thank you for joining us again. Andy said, nah, I'm just stoned. Okay, then. You got to get high to come see me then. I get it. Makes sense. That's even better. Wild Hair, hello and welcome. Let me see. So. So what else is new? How's Mr. Kimber doing, my dear?
Mr. Kimber is feeling, he's still tired. He's feeling some better. He's not having the chills anymore. And he is not, he's still having, of course, some trouble breathing due to the fact that he does have the MAC and the fungus.
Of course.
But he is, he's not having the chills and he's not aching like he was. So he's improving slowly but surely. It's going to take some time. You know, he's got a long road ahead, but we're getting there.
That is wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Make sure you send our best wishes to him. Tell him Dago did a high five and said, "Get better, brother," because I'm pushing for you, bro. Libby Chicken, hello. Sergeant Smell Good. I hope so, and thank you for joining us. Good to have you here. We are going to discuss a couple different things, guys. I got an update on the Joshua Zimmerman scenario. Tired Potato, hello and welcome.
Where is he?
Who?
Joshua Zimmerman.
We're about to find out here in a few. I got a couple other updates with different cases and stuff we're going to talk about. Possibly something with Sebastian's case. So we shall see. I see all them new names. Yes, Doodle.
We had a guy that in Gallatin that there was a kid breaking in his car.
Mm-hmm.
And he ran out with a gun. And the kid ran off. The kid was 16. The kid ran off, and the guy shot the kid. So the guy that the kid was breaking in his car is now facing second-degree murder charges because he shot the kid as he was running away.
See, that used to be a thing here too. You can't shoot somebody in the back because they're trying to escape the scenario. They've changed that now because the stand your ground law.
Well, it's not considered stand your ground if they're running away, though, Dago.
Well, that's what I know. That's what they used to say. But here in Ohio, that used to be the thing. Now you can't, like, if somebody was, we had a case here not too long, about 2 years ago, where somebody was breaking into somebody's back door, right? The guy goes to the back door and as the guy's kicking his door in, he grabs it and yanks it and shoots the guy. And they were going to charge him with manslaughter or something like that. And because of the way the laws were changing at that time and the gun stuff, it completely changed. So I don't know. There's a lot of weird laws with that nowadays, but I guess, like you
Well,
said, it's not stand your ground. So
well,
that's
well,
still
somebody breaking in your house is a little different. But and I
you
understand the kid was breaking in his car and that was wrong. But the kid was 16 years old.
didn't need to shoot him, though. I agree with you.
The kid ran
Yeah,
and
you
he
didn't need to
shot the
shoot him.
kid. So, he called, I think he called, I can't remember if he called the police or not, but he shot the kid and the kid was running. So,
Mhm.
that's, and
It's
what
a
the kid
kid,
don't get me wrong, the kid was wrong for breaking in the car. I'm not saying that. But
but that
but he shot the kid in the back. I guess
that
he shot the kid. I don't know if he shot him in the back door. I mean, in the not. I saw Andy type back door. I don't know if he shot the kid in the back or what, but it killed the kid. So
and
he's now facing second degree.
that's what I'm saying. Now, here's the thing: that 16-year-old kid could have grown up and in 5 years changed his life and had a normal life, and you killed him for because he broke into your car. Come on now, like there's
Right.
other ways to handle these things. That's bullshit to me, especially if he's not attacking you or coming at you. He's trying to get away
Yeah.
from the thing. That's just wrong to me, and I do agree. Real quick, let me say, Ermagerd, Miss Cassie's been here for over 13 months now. That's so very awesome. Congrats,
Hi,
Miss Cass.
Cassie, honey.
And thank you for that. I appreciate you. And then on top of that, she gifted a membership as well. And congrats to Sergeant Smellgood for becoming a meatball. Welcome to the sauce. We appreciate you very much. And I think I got it. And congrats again, Miss Cat. I know it's longer than 13 months, though. I think that's weird. But still, congratulations, dear. I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of this awesome Blue Crew. Thank you to the Blue Crew for being here again, because you know why. Why? What do I always say? I say this every day, like 25 times a day. So I couldn't, wouldn't, nor shouldn't ever do this without y'all, because you guys make it happen. So thank you to you and my producers. I appreciate you very much. Agreed. I agree with that, Sarah. Whatever happened to just like disabling, hitting in the shoulder, a knee, a leg, or something that'll just take somebody down instead of trying to like go for the heart or the head or
See,
something.
that's what my husband said. My husband said he could have shot him in the leg.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So
He didn't have to shoot him at all if he was running away. You call the police, let him find him. That's it.
yeah, that's what I'd have done. Because I'm not going to go out because there's kids around here, and honestly, they've broken my husband's truck one night. They've gotten in my car one night. Fortunately, it was unlocked, and they just rummaged through it. But I'm not
Yeah.
going to go out and start shooting kids.
I'm
I'm
not
just
gonna.
not
You're
going to do
right.
it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna kill somebody because you broke into my car. I'm sorry.
No, you can have my car. If you come into my house if you come into my house, you better make sure that whatever's in my house is worth your life. Because that's where the trouble might start. I'll probably shoot you in the leg. I probably wouldn't do a body shot, but you know, um, you know what I'm saying.
I do. Yes, I do. I do. It's 11:22, guys. You always
Eleven
know what time
twenty-two,
it is here when I disappear or something freezes. It's 11:22. So
double Dago.
yeah, absolutely. Welcome everybody. Andy Rose with your little ghosties. I see it. Assess the situation first. It's just a car. Exactly, Sarah. Thank you.
Yeah,
God,
it's just a car. It's not worth it. It's not worth a 16-year-old kid's life.
that's true because she's right. Even Ellie seems to forget this. Sometimes they go for the heart. Like you don't need to kill somebody over something so stupid. It's ridiculous. I mean, life is way more precious than that, and it just isn't treated that way. Hello, Alicia. Welcome. It's okay. You're allowed to be late. That's the problem with society nowadays. It really is one of the big ones. 41 peeps in here and 33 likes. We is getting there. Thank you guys for doing that. Appreciate you. So, oh my God, I've been here alone all day. I'm
Hi,
really
Lisa.
lonely.
Poor
I
Dago.
got y'all. I got y'all, and that's all that matters. I watched a show today. I think I watched the entire show, the whole series. You ever seen a show called Cruel Summer series?
Mm-mm.
Check it out. It's actually pretty good. I've been watching all these weird series lately. I watched, and any of you guys laugh at me, I'll be looking for the middle finger emoji too. Pretty Little Liars. I watched the original one with my wife a long time ago. Well, there's another one out that's called Pretty Little Liars Origins. Damn, that was good. Check that out if you can find it. It is really good. If you guys like mystery, well, obviously you like crime because you're in here, but if you like mystery and crime and stuff like that, please go watch it. You will not be disappointed. I'm telling you. And I'm still gonna be telling you to watch True Detective, guys. If you haven't seen it yet, you really got to go watch that show. It is really damn good. In about an hour, I'm gonna be in huge trouble. For what, Tomboy? What'd you do now? Are you talking about beating on the ceiling again? Don't wanna be all by myself anymore.
Dago, please don't quit your.
Ow! I know.
Yeah,
My
don't.
dogs are staring. Look at me. Can you see my dogs looking at me like, what the hell's your problem? Oh.
Don't stop your true crime stuff. Just keep it with the true crime.
Don't quit your day job, right?
Yeah,
I get
don't
it.
quit your day job.
Oh hell, I can't sing for shit right now, but normally that wouldn't have been too bad, but my throat is messed up tonight. Butterfly 71. Good to see you guys. For those of you guys that were in here last night with us for that little music thing, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I did. Caden did. It was a good time. So for those of you that were here, thank you for joining us. I really did appreciate it. And I hope it helped you guys. I would have liked to have seen you in here, but it was pretty late. So I get it.
I was in here for a minute, but I've been trying to sleep and
you need to
get the house cleaned up for so we can go on vacation because we leave on Monday. So
when's that happening?
We leave Monday.
You just said that too, didn't you? Yeah, you did. Sorry.
I did just say that, Dago.
I heard part of it. It cut out though. I'm sorry. So let me show you guys something here to start this off with because I've been dragging this.
Well, hold on. Where's this guy at? Let me check something.
Okay.
Bolo out for an armed man. I just had to make sure he wasn't here.
Yeah, that ain't good.
He's not in my county.
That's good too. Let me see something here. So you guys know how I've been following the Joshua Zimmerman scenario, the manhunt that's been going on. Pretty serious guy, pretty dangerous guy, and it's been going on and on and on and on. 61 days. I believe it was, right?
Yes, Walt, I can still mod on vacation. I might still be here some late nights.
Well, you don't need to.
It'll be late. I'll be here for the late show. The late show on the balcony. Y'all be here in the ocean.
Oh, don't make me jealous. I didn't get no vacation this year. Not for me. Not for me. None for me. Hold on a minute here. Where the hell is it?
I'd like to know where that sucker is.
Well, there is an update on it. Like something bad happened with this scenario. 1 second, I'm gonna show you guys. Is this it? I think he's actually live right now too, but I'm gonna show you the other side of it first. Hold on. Thanks to Miss Sherry. Okay, so this was from 2 days ago, actually. Excuse me. Again, thank you, Miss Sherry. Great job as always. That goes for all of you guys. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Oof, there we go. So as we know, Joshua James Zimmerman, threat level 3. The guy's done a lot of bad stuff. Okay, he's been out for days now, like months, couple months now. 100 and something days, I think, or no. What did I just say? How many days he'd been free?
A lot.
I just said it. I can't remember, but I'm sorry. Anywho, he's wanted for all of these things, right? Well, day 59. Sorry, not 100 and some days. I was thinking of something else. But anyway, Joshua Zimmerman's friend shoots and kills Florida cop amid manhunt. So he's in Florida, guys.
What?
He's in Florida. Okay. It says he remains the ghost in a machine after his friend murders a Florida cop amid manhunt. These are the places he's been, but now it's known that he's in Florida. Oh, what's up, stranger? Mm.
Where did he murder the police officer?
That's what I'm looking at here. So last confirmed sighting, 59 days and 8 weeks, date June 14th in DeSoto County, Mississippi. Boom. Then we got Florida cop killed on July 14th. Mike Smith opened fire on police officers in Florida. According to charging documents, the Waterbury native was friends with Josh Zimmerman and his entire circle. Smith was charged with first-degree murder of a police officer and fled Florida, notifying Zimmerman's associates that he intended to die rather than return to prison. Smith made it to Georgia, where authorities eventually caught up with him. Following through on his promise, Smith took his own life after killing a police officer in Florida. Smith was communicating with individuals related to Zimmerman. That same day, Zimmerman was petrified as federal agents raided his mother's home, unaware of the connection between the cop killer, the escaped prisoner, and Waterbury crew. It remains possible that Mike Smith was traveling to pick up Zimmerman and head to Connecticut, because that is, again, guys, supposedly where he is on his way to and has been the whole time. Together, but that plan was cut short when authorities apprehended Smith. So there's that. Okay. They're telling everybody in these specific places to remain vigilant, keep your head on a swivel, and pay attention to everything. And guys, it's all of these states here: Alabama, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Virginia, and West Virginia. This dude is everywhere, I'm guessing, or has been everywhere. He's all over the damn map. So pay attention if you live in any of these states. And if he's associating with these types of people that'll just draw up a gun on you and take your life for whatever reason, these are dark people, folks. They're dangerously dark people. Very scary. Okay? Nope. And if you, again, I've stressed this again and again and again. If you guys see this guy, person, anywhere, do not attempt to speak to him. Do not make notice of him. Pick up your phone, dial 911, ask to be connected with the marshals. Tell them, I've seen Joshua Zimmerman. He's here, and walk the hell away as fast as you can. That's all I'm saying. So, you can just look at, he doesn't care. He's a spree killer, they're calling him, and he's done a lot of different things to a lot of different people and does not care. So please be vigilant. Now that it's been known that his friend was in Florida, I should say. I don't know if he's down in Florida. I'm just saying his friend was in Florida and fled to Georgia. They're staying down south, it seems, because it started in Tennessee. Boom, boom, boom. So 16 states, exactly, stranger. That's a lot of places to be looking out for. You know what I mean?
He's not going back to prison.
I said that before. I think you were here when I said it the first time. Mm-hmm. This man is not going to go back to prison, and this is going to end up bad. And I hope it's only bad for him and nobody else, when nobody else gets hurt.
Right.
So, they're very true, Doodle. He does, according to what's been told, cross-dress, and he does actually look like a woman, guys. I'm just telling you. He's known to do tattoos and be a barber. So, I agree, Sarge. He will not go alive. There's not going to happen. He wouldn't try so hard to get out of there if he was. So, I've seen that, Leslie. I'm going to have to check that out. But anyway, there's that update on him. And I think Nick is live right now. So, I don't think there's anything new to this other than what. Hold on a second here. You okay over there?
Who, me?
I hear some weird noises. I didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, I'm getting my blood pressure pills.
Oh, okay.
And cholesterol medicine. I'm good.
Absolutely. All right, Nick, what is going on right now?
It's pill time at the old folks' home.
Okay, we're at day 61 right now. I'm sorry. Searching, and they're nothing new. They're still searching for him. That's what Nick's talking about now. I'm not gonna make you guys watch this whole thing. I just like to throw the update in there. Hold on here.
It's like a man to rape women. It's a very strange.
Investigation is being conducted.
Ever since, here's what we know. It's the same that we've known for about 60 days now. The escapee was in custody for an attempted murder, a carjacking, and armed robbery in DeSoto County, Mississippi, when authorities in Houston informed DeSoto County, Mississippi, that the arrestee's name, the inmate's name, is not Mike, because he was going by Mike Zimmerman. It's not Damian Quinta, whatever. It's Joshua Zimmerman. He's wanted for murder in our state, they said, of murder in the first degree. And then Connecticut calls and says, yeah, we want him for raping men. So that is how he's.
All right, so day 61, as he said, there's nothing new. Again, if you see this guy, U.S. Marshals first, in my opinion, 1-800-336-0102. There's multiple faces that he could be looking like at this point, as you see down here. And it's still going on. So please be vigilant. Do not forget about this. I try to show this to you guys every day or every other day. For that reason, I've missed a couple days, but that's I agree with Sherry. He has to have a network of help, and I gotta wonder who this guy is associated with that have gone through all these things to help this guy and to hide this guy. I'm guessing, and to make this guy all dangerous is as dangerous as he is in my opinion. So be careful, folks. Any one of those states I mentioned, don't play. Keep your doors and windows locked. All of that, please.
I'm like Wisdom. He has to have a network of help because
yeah,
he's like the hide and seek champion.
He's evaded this for 2 months, guys. 2 months, and there hasn't been a sighting of this guy. Not in these 2 months, not one sighting. That's crazy to me. That is absolutely crazy to me.
And Captain, you are correct. If he gets to Manhattan,
it's on.
He'll get lost in that crowd up there.
Well, and they're saying that if he's headed to Connecticut, they're saying, and there's 5 people that he plans on unaliving in Connecticut, based on what his sister said. That's a scary situation, because if it's 5 people, Nick had said early on in this that if he went into a mall and was looking for one person, that he'll take anybody out that's in his way. That's what scares me about this guy. So I don't know. I just don't know. Just be vigilant. Like I keep saying, guys, keep your doors, windows locked, your car doors. Don't answer ads on Facebook for any of the things, tattoos. Not that any of you would. I'm just saying all these things is what I preach all the time about it. So please don't do it. And where did I just see? Leslie said, you said that there is another manhunt, Leslie, somewhere. It was there, now it's gone. I'm sorry about the ads, guys. I'm sorry.
So do they know? She said there's a new manhunt in Hillsborough County. That's in Florida. So gotcha. Dago, do they know who he's going to kill in Connecticut?
I mean, I'm sure at this point that they do. They're not going to put that out there.
Right. I would hope they have those people in protective custody.
I would hope so too. But I don't know. I don't know. According to my understanding, his sister got a hold of them and said, "This is my brother. I know where he's going. He's going after such and such people with 5 people, blah, blah, blah." And that's it. So, they're not putting out who it is, which is probably for their own safety. And I hope he doesn't get there to do it. I can't find this, Leslie. Let me check something out. I see one from 4 years ago and 9 years ago, but I don't see it. I'm sorry. Let me see. I'll find it though. Let me try this. So where is your vacationing spot going to be, Miss Kimber?
Panama City.
Oh yeah, there you go. And do you have specific plans, or are you just going there to be there?
We're going there to be there.
And there you go.
That's the only, we're going to we'll be on the beach, and we don't have any specific plans. Whatever we do, or we don't, or yeah, just day drinking and beaching.
And that's bingo. That's all you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Hillsborough County, North Carolina, or Florida? Because I think it's North Carolina.
Maybe it is North Carolina. It's North Carolina.
Okay. All right. I
Maybe.
did find that one. Let's see. This is what I found.
Doodle sent it and Doodle sent it to your Discord.
Oh,
No,
well,
Leslie, I don't have my gummies. I know I can't remember crap tonight, but I don't have my gummies.
thank you,
It's a school
Doodle.
night.
It's a school night. I love it. Thank you, Doodle. 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 There it is. Yep, same one. Okay, hold on. Here we go. All right. So, manhunt underway for escaped inmate in Hillsborough. State offers $25,000 reward. Eastern North Carolina. This is down by you, Miss Sherry. Be careful. Multiple law enforcement agencies are actively searching for an inmate who escaped during a medical transport earlier this morning in Hillsborough. 30-year-old Ramon Alston is currently serving a life sentence at the Bertie Correctional Institution for a murder that took place in Orange County. And that's it. Well, wait a minute now. That's what he looks like with his eyes closed. Hold on. I think I have another version of this too. Thank you, Doodlebug. Thank you. I do appreciate that. Let's see here, guys. Give me a second. All right. Let me see here. Here we go. I found it. Here it is, everybody. I just had the state wrong. My apologies. All right. Bing, bang, bada, boom.
Hospital. As they had pulled up to the back entrance of the hospital, and as they were removing Mr. Alston from the vehicle,
Thank you,
he
Les.
broke away from the officers in the parking lot and ran to the woods. And since that point this morning, the search has been on for him. There are multiple agencies, public safety and law enforcement agencies involved in this effort this morning, to include the Department of Adult Correction with our K-9 officers, our prison emergency response team, and our probation and parole officers, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the Chapel Hill Police Department, Hillsborough Police Department, NC State Highway Patrol. You probably have seen their helicopter in the air this morning. Orange County Emergency Management is helping to coordinate all the efforts here. Investigators from the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force are assisting as well. And UNC Hospital Police are also involved as this happened on their campus in their parking lot. At this time, I think we can answer a few questions based on what information we know at this point.
Do you believe that he might still be in the area?
We don't know at this point. I mean, we know he's from this area. He's got a long history here. He's got family and friends in the area, probably resources, and knows the area. So, but we just don't know where he is at this point.
What kind of restrictions did he have? Did he have leg shackles or anything like that?
We believe that when he left the vehicle, he was wearing handcuffs in the front, and he had a waist chain around his waist, and the handcuffs were secured to the waist chain with a padlock device called a black box. So whether he's still in that or not, we don't know, but that's what he had when he left the vehicle.
What was the appointment for? Like, do you think this was a constructed effort, knowing that he has family and friends here before he arrived?
This was a scheduled medical appointment for an ongoing medical issue he had. I can't discuss the specifics of his medical condition, but whether he planned this or not, we don't know at this point, but that's certainly something we're looking into.
So, I mean, in that same vein a little bit, do you believe there's a chance he might have notified anyone that he was going to do this?
It's possible. We just don't know at this point.
At what point, I mean, you have a lot of multiple agencies joining in on this effort to search, but Are you considering bringing in more? How does the search process kind of go from here?
We'll have to see how this develops. There are significant resources here in the area on this search at this point. We'll follow every lead and every tip as it comes to us, and follow.
Oh, here's the thing. If he's still handcuffed and waist shackled, like, he can't be too far unless he's found somebody to help him get that off. You can't just jump out of that stuff, guys, and dragging that around. Somebody's going to see you.
Well, I'm
Okay.
sitting here going, what the heck? He's still he was handcuffed and waist shackled. How did he get away?
That's a good question. And I don't understand something. If you're shackled, waist shackled, handcuffed, how did you beat up the guard? Like, I mean, are they like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And yeah, he's been gone since this morning, hours, guys. Like, unless he found someplace and he's just sitting there hiding in a bush somewhere or in a hole somewhere. They drove him 2.5 hours away from medical. For medical, that is kind of crazy. Unless they were in an area that doesn't have that, you know what I mean, and they had to get to that place. That could be what it is, Leslie, but that's still wild.
Leslie said he shoved a guard, but still nobody. Okay, so he shoved a guard, but
how do you run in leg shackles, shackled to your waist, fast enough to get away from somebody? At least I've seen it there, Leslie. Thank you, hon.
But how did he? Okay, so he shoved one of the guards, but still, I mean, you can't. You see how they're chained? If they've got that waist shackle on, they're chained at the legs too. You run like Morticia Adams used to walk in that dress.
Yeah, right. Exactly. There's no way. I mean, we've seen Richard Allen being walked through. He can barely walk with his stuff on. Thank you both to all of you guys that have sent me stuff. I appreciate it. I see the emails. Absolutely. I don't understand how you ran from these guys. First of all, I don't understand how you overpowered them. Okay. Or him. And then to run off without the guy coming back and catching you. You can't move very fast. I'm sorry.
I wonder if Paula's onto something there. Maybe it seems like they let him get away. Maybe I'd have questions for the guards.
Well, Doodle's saying the same thing. Someone helped him. And that's what I was just getting ready to say. And they probably made it, I've seen this before. The guard said, hit me. He hits him and go, hurry up, get out of here. You know what I mean? One of them things. So it's not okay. So it's not leg shackles. It's just the belly thing. I know what you're talking about. The belly band. Still, your hands are shackled to your chest. So if you're running like this, I mean, it is what it is.
But if you fall, you're basically screwed. How are you going to get up?
And the other thing I have an issue with, there should have been more than one guard with him. I don't think I've ever seen, at least here in our prisons, they don't transport to hospitals with just one guard. There's usually at least two, if not more. If this guy's a convicted.
Not for an offender like that.
Yeah, he's a convicted murderer. If it was somebody that evaded their taxes, maybe, but not this guy. Not all hospitals will service. That's what I was thinking too, Sherry. Not all hospitals will service inmates. So they may have had to find a place that would take him. You know what I mean? That's why the distance.
And if he had a plan, maybe somebody paid the guards off.
There's that too. And Butterfly said it had to have be somebody in a car nearby. This was probably premeditated, guys. So yeah. Yep. 2 guards. There were 2 guards. Okay. You can't overpower both of them, though. You know what I mean?
No. So if he shoved one, why didn't the other one do something?
Unless they were in on it.
Mm-hmm.
They were COs, Paula. I wonder.
But if they were even if they were COs, if they were transporting a convicted murderer, they were armed to the teeth. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm. And this guy had a medical condition, right? So or did he fake it?
That's what I was fixing to ask. Did he fake it?
Yeah, I do. I agree with that. I do want to see surveillance. So we're going to follow this too. And if it starts to get hectic, if it starts to get hectic, I will be nonstop streaming it for you guys, like I do with the other, like Cavalcante and all that.
Yeah, Annie, I agree with that. Going to medical, they should have had him in leg shackles too. After all, he is a convicted murderer, so he should have been. They should have had that. They should have had the leg shackles on too.
Yep. Amen to that. Amen to that. Something's not right with this. Something's off. I'm just saying. We'll find out. Let me finish this for you guys.
Up on those and sort of dole those investigative resources and those search resources out as appropriate.
Back to the restraints, because in the press release it had details about a leg restraint, but then you talked about handcuffs and chains. So could you just clarify what exactly he went into?
When he left the prison, he was in leg restraints. We believe he probably got out of those while he was in.
There it is, right there. When he left the prison, he was in leg restraints. They said they believe he got out of them. No, he didn't. Somebody let him out of those. How the hell are you going to get out of leg restraints without breaking your ankles? Somebody?
You ain't.
Nope. Somebody let him out of those. So there we go, guys.
Because the leg restraints are wide bands.
You cannot just get out of those. I'm sorry.
No, because they're like wide bands, aren't they, Dago?
They're yeah. The ones I've seen, at least, they're big shackles, and then they're chained, and then those are chained to usually chained to the belly band, and then that's usually chained to the wrist. So unless he got baby feet, I'm telling you, yeah, Annie, I think you're right, Annie, that someone paid off the guard. I think that this was possibly guard involvement, because that don't make no sense to get out of the leg. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if he left the prison in the leg shackles and was not in them when he was separated from the guards, then something's not right.
This guy's facing total embarrassment right now.
Oh God, yeah. And Stitches says, I don't know. Maybe he is. Is he part of Zimmerman's crew? Who knows? I don't know. All I know is this is crazy. Something's not right with this. Could he have grabbed the key? Very possible, but I mean, there's two guards. If you get in the back of that bus or the van or whatever they took him in, and a lot of times these vans have mounts inside of them where they will cuff you to these like mounts inside as well. Not all of them, I don't know, but I know here TCI, I've seen when I was in when I worked for the ambulance company, we had to go in. They called private ambulances for certain things, and to transport one of their guys to the hospital, one of us had to ride with him one time in their van. They wouldn't let him go in the ambulance. So because they have these things mounted to the floor that have these like loops over top of them like this, and it's a ring, and then they take a chain through that, and then they lock it into their feet on the ankle things, right? Now I don't know if everybody has them, but if that's what they have, how the hell did you get out of that? You know what I mean? That's crazy. Welcome, Crimson. Good to see you tonight. Something's not right with something.
I bet they have those two guards in interrogation right now, interrogating the hell out of them.
I guarantee you. And I want to see video footage. I'm curious. You know what I mean?
The math ain't mathing.
Guys, give me 1 second. I gotta turn something off.
Okay, so if he didn't get the keys, then somebody helped him.
I don't know. What I'm weirded out.
Leslie just said that they said he didn't get the keys, so he had help then.
But they let him out.
If he had the belly chain on, if he had the ankle shackles on, and he was handcuffed and all that was attached to that belly chain, he got help.
To leave the prison in leg shackles and to not be in them when you escaped, something's wrong. Period. That's all
he ain't running nowhere and all that. He ain't running nowhere.
Exactly.
in the vehicle in transit at some point. He did not have them on when he ran from the hospital parking lot.
But what exactly?
Let's hear that again.
When he left the prison, he was in leg restraints. We believe he probably got out of those while he was in the vehicle in transit at some point. He did not have them on when he ran from the hospital parking lot.
So he had them on initially, you believe?
Yes.
So I know that this is all very ongoing, and you know I understand that you guys are in the midst of still trying to find him. But at what point would you guys like widen the search, being that you guys don't know where he is at this point, and now we're in hour 4?
So I mean, there are alerts out statewide for him at this point. So all law enforcement agencies are aware. They have his description, his photograph. We don't have a vehicle connected to him at this point. If that were to change, we would obviously disseminate that information very quickly.
If you believe that he's a danger right now to people in the public?
He's an escaped felon. This is a man who's convicted of first-degree murder. He's got a violent criminal past here in the local area. He's unpredictable. We don't know what he's going to do, so he should certainly probably be considered dangerous. People make rash decisions at a time like this. He's already made one very large rash decision this morning. So just if people see him, they should not approach him. They should notify 911, notify law enforcement, and let the authorities come, pursue those leads.
And a little detail. People have been understandably curious about his clothing description. Is it khaki? Is it brown? Yes, it's khaki. It's brown. It's a little bit of gray. It's Department of Correction issued clothing that they all wear. The T-shirt is kind of gray heather-ish, and the pants are kind of an indeterminate color
that's close to gray and brown.
Close to gray and brown. He may have either white boxers or black gym shorts on under those pants. Perhaps he would prefer to not be wearing pants that have been publicly identified. But at this point, until we learn otherwise, the most distinguishing feature is someone running with a belly chain and handcuffs with a black box.
Similar to her previous question, at this point, are you guys asking people in that neighborhood over there or anywhere nearby?
So he's got the black box connected to the belly chain too. So that is definitely something that you visually are going to notice.
What's the black box, Dago?
They have. I'll show you here in a minute. 1 second.
But okay, so here's my thing. Did they?
Thank you.
Would
Go ahead.
surely they wouldn't have taken him out of the leg shackles to get him out of the van or the bus or whatever to take him in the hospital. So
I definitely wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either. If he's a first degree murderer.
Right.
So
yeah, I have to agree with that for sure. Hold on a minute. The black box, I don't know about GPS on those. Let me see something.
but he's probably gotten rid of all that and he's not wearing the same clothes. That's going to be the first thing. Oh, Wisdom said it could have been just simple leg chains.
All right, I think this is what they mean by the black box. Do you see this right here?
Uh-huh.
It's a lockout box, and then I don't know what the hell these little things are. I've never seen these before, but interesting. So yeah, this guy's running down the road with this chain. This is what they do: is they wrap this around your waist, and then they lock you into this thing here. I think this is so you can't use your hands. I've never seen those before, though. That's interesting. So, and Sherry's right. Different departments use different kind of leg shackles. So he could have figured out a way to slip those off by straightening out his feet or something, or if he has small feet or whatever. Yeah, and his, by the way, I was looking something up. That's what took me so long. This piece of shit was convicted of killing a child. Okay.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
no.
Hopefully he'll go on. Hopefully, if he's on the run, he'll go on the wrong person's property
And that's,
save the tax dollars some money.
yep, you can see it. There you go. Stranger said it. Yeah, there it is. Unbelievable. Hold on.
Like to shelter in place or anything like that, given that he is unpredictable as you've described him.
Can you speak to that? What's going on locally?
I'll have to get back to you on that. I don't believe we've issued a wide shelter in place. We're trying more to make sure people are aware, because we don't know where it is specifically he is.
In a 4:30 p.m. press conference, Orange County officials said they believe Austin had help in his escape efforts and offered $25,000 reward to anyone who can provide information that would lead. Okay, what is going on with our even our prison systems now that they're not even a good God? This is insane, you guys. That's dangerous to me. I'm sorry. When we have so many people that are willing to suck their jobs or paid off enough to help somebody escape from prison that could be that much dangerous of a person.
And why wouldn't they issue a shelter in place?
I don't know. They're going to show that here in a minute, I think. 1 second.
I'm just curious why they wouldn't.
Right. Oh, wait. Is that it? Yeah. Thank you, Tomboy. I saw that for sure. Same type thing. Once the vehicle door was open, he jumped out and ran to a wooded area nearby. Press conference like a box of rocks. Captain said, yeah, this is a little bit of a strange press conference. I'll say that much.
Sherry said those, Wisdom said those are self-harm cuffs.
Right. A 1-year-old baby. See?
Oh my goodness.
I don't. Come this direction. Let me find you. Okay, Tomboy.
It's kind of difficult to ask half a county to shelter in place, but I will try to tighten up an answer for you before our next briefing, which we expect to be in about 2 hours. We want to try to do this regularly, even if there aren't updates, at least to let you know that there are no updates. So.
There are a lot of law enforcement officers working in the neighborhoods around the hospitals. So there's a significant visible presence in those areas, and they're talking with people they encounter and asking questions, and people are asking them questions, and there's a lot of communication going on there.
You know, in many ways, this.
All right, I'm gonna get see if I can get the new presser on this real quick.
It's hard to ask half the county to shelter in place. Well, would you rather half of your county? Never mind. I can't with this woman. I would rather ask half of my county to shelter in place and be safe.
I would agree with you. I would agree. I don't see the damn press conference here yet. These guys are going cheap on this. They're not. I would put this out everywhere. Hold on. What do we got here? I guess it could be legit if the wooded area was really close to him. He shoved one and the other was still in the car. Well, they chased after him from my understanding and they couldn't catch him. So I want to know where the help came into play. Who helped him and how? You know what I mean?
And why wouldn't they have shot him in the leg?
Thank you. Unless their protocol doesn't allow. I don't know. Jamar. In fact, let me do this. Jamar Alston is his name, by the way, you guys. I'm sorry, no. I'm wrong. Ramon Jamar Alston. Jamar Alston. 30 years old. Okay. Gray t-shirt, brown pants, white New Balance shoes. He was also wearing handcuffs connected to a belly chain with a black box over the junction. Yeah. They put that black box over top of it and lock it out so you can't disconnect the thing. You know what I mean? Now, let me give this to you guys, too, so you can see what this guy looks like clearly with his eyes open now.
Exactly, Doodle.
What's that?
She said, and that's when the officer knew he effed up.
Oh, 100%. So this is him with his eyes open. 30-year-old convicted killer managed to escape by freeing himself of leg restraints on the way to the hospital at 7 a.m. How he got them off, I don't know. Sheriff Charles Blackwood said once the vehicle door was open, he jumped out and ran to a wooded area nearby. If someone had an intent to go where you don't know they're going to go and they run, Blackwood said, and it happens, bang, bang. The gentleman, as soon as he put his foot on the ground to get out of the vehicle, he took off running. So that's him, and I guess that's him too. That's March of 23 when he had the dreadlocks. Last seen wearing a gray t-shirt, brown pants, white New Balance tennis. Well, he had good tennis shoes on. That's probably why he took off running like that. If they'd have had him in slides, he wouldn't have been able to do that. You know those sandals that they have you wear? A lot of times they transport him in those for that reason, but with tennis shoes on, But see, that's another question, though. How the hell did he free himself from the leg shackles if he had shoes on?
I saw that, Leslie. That's so sad. It's horrible. He's a monster.
Shot a 1-year-old baby. I hope this piece of shit rots in hell. God bless America. Stop with this shit. Police stress the importance and scope of the ongoing manhunt to recapture Alston. As far as the community goes, there are two ways of looking at this. He's either within a 5-mile radius or he's in the rest of the world, and we're searching both. I don't think he would stay in that area for one, okay? But how far can you get with that, your hands like that, okay? That's it. But that's Ramon Jamar Alston.
Wisdom, you stay safe over there, honey.
Mm-hmm. She can handle herself. She's got the ability to do that. I have no doubt.
Doodle, exactly. They should check the bank accounts of everyone that was around him, everyone that knows him. They should check phone records. Including the officer, including the officers that were with him. There's just the math. You could do the math on this one all day long, and it's just not mathing. There is no math. There is no way that the math on this is mathing. I mean, why are all these people escaping? Here, let's just open the door and let them all out. But let's just make sure we let the most violent out. This is insane.
Okay, so it says that this is different. Sorry. 4:30 press conference, Orange County said that they believe Alston had help in his escape efforts, so on and so forth. Wait a minute. Florida deputy was likely sleeping when... This isn't the same scenario. This is different then. Oh, yeah, that's a different story. They just added it in there. Sorry. Anyway. So, well, that's the story, guys. So keep your eyes open. Anybody that's in that region, please. More mess, more mess, more mess, more mess. As if there's not enough stuff to worry about.
I'm going to go over and pet Wisdom's puppy. She's got 3 pitties. I want to come pet your dogs, Wisdom. Can I come pet your dogs?
That's what I mean. The shower shoes is what they. Yeah, that's what they call me, Annie. I call them slides. But if he'd have been in those, he wouldn't have got away. He wouldn't have got away. Which I think they should force them to transport that way. I really do. On his way to North Carolina. Thank you, Sherry. Again.
I'm gonna go pet Wisdom's dogs.
Thank you, Molly. I got that. I got what you sent me. Thank you very much. You're going to pet what?
Wisdom's dogs. I love pit bulls.
He should have shock cuffs. That's
Can
a
I
good
pet
one.
that
That's a good
dog?
idea too. Yup, 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 yup.
Yay! Welcome back, Tomba.
Hello, Tomba. Welcome back to you.
Can I pet that dog?
Where is Ms. Barbara? We haven't seen her yet tonight. I didn't think she was in the last show either. Oops. Damn it. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I used to go up to Durham, close to Orange County. Gotcha, Stephen. Thank you. Where did Tomba? Oh, she says I'm back for now. Don't be getting yourself in no trouble there, Tomba. No trouble. Okay, so again, keep your eyes and ears open. And like I said, if it turns into something like what we went through with Danilo Cavalcante, I will make sure that I'm live for the whole thing.
I'm wondering if that's what Zimmerman's going to turn into, Dago.
What's that? The Cavalcante?
Cavalcante, yeah.
Well, if they get to where they get him spotted and surrounded, yeah, it will. They all do. And then that situation, depending on how it's handled and how hard it is to get a hold of him, you know how that goes down. So,
well, he's not. Well, he's not going to go like that guy in Arkansas did, because I never figured that they would take that guy in Arkansas alive. I was totally shocked that they did.
I didn't think they would either. I'm right there with you, for sure.
But I can tell you right now, Zimmerman's not going to be the one. Zimmerman's not going to go quietly. Zimmerman's going to go out in a hell of pew 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 pew.
Yeah,
pew,
that's
pew.
going to be hellfire for sure.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, you should probably do that, Tomboy. You shouldn't hide them things. People worry about you and care about you, want to know. Dilly bar, Tomboy. Damn you. I want a Buster bar. I'm hungry. Shit. Got me thinking about food. I haven't really eaten in a while, so I should be all right. I should lose some weight this week while she's gone. Not because I can't. It's not about the cooking thing. My nerves make me not want to eat, so. It is what it is. What it is. What it is. Somebody sent me. Who was it that dropped this in here? Was it Andy? I think it was Andy. Let me find this here real quick. Oh yeah, it looks like Mr. J. That's what I was gonna. Little some here. Good old Jonathan. This is a little update on the Sebastian scenario. For those of you, I told you I'd throw that up.
Oh look, it's that dude.
Jailer. See what he's got to say.
Hello. And we are live. JLR Investigates. Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone. How was everyone doing? Come on in. Sebastian Wayne Drake don't really know what specific detail things being done to the Proudfoots. And they feel like these things have crossed the line, it looks like. And they have taken measures now, legal measures, against an individual, claiming this, that, and the other. But we don't really know what specific details.
Well, this ain't really new, but I don't know. Maybe there's something new to it. Let's see.
These documents seem to be sealed or unavailable, and some of it gets leaked out. But apparently the YouTuber wasn't properly served, or there's an issue about service. So the Proudfoots last week went into court, and they went in there, and believe it or not, the Sumner County Sheriff, a representative with the Sheriff's Office, and the District Attorney of Sumner County were there, which people thought were interesting, because why would the Sheriff's Office and DA be there with the Proudfoots? People are saying, well, the Proudfoots are in bed with the sheriffs. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. Apparently the Proudfoots feel something is going on, but it might be worse than what we think it is. And possibly, folks, my sources are telling me that Proudfoots are pressing criminal charges. And when I say criminal charges, for what? I don't know. I can only speculate. Stalking, harassment, terroristic threats, reckless endangerment. I don't know. But, folks, there has been new revealing information that is out there. And it might not just be one YouTuber. It might be escalation to other people. It's what my sources are telling me. Other people involved. What will happen here? I don't know, folks. But we're monitoring it, and we'll see what's happening. Because if the Proudfoots can seek a protection order off, someone talking about them, then I could get one. Any other person that covered this case on YouTube could get one. I never got served, and I don't think any other, I just think one YouTuber got served. I don't think any other YouTubers got served with anything. Because it is free speech, stop saying things online. If you feel
I'm there with you. I'm there with you, Sherry.
Incorrect, slander, defamation, libel, whatever, or even criminality, you can always send that person a cease and desist, or tell them what the offense that they're doing, and telling them and giving them an opportunity to retract and or stop. But there might be some more things going on behind the scenes. And in our group, we have a group, Sebastian Rogers group. It's a big group. There's been some screenshots posted. And it seems like these screenshots are coming from people's YouTube channels and Discord. And people are talking. They're talking. And what these people are doing, which I find very, very interesting, considering the circumstances around this case dealing with Seth Rogers and Tony Mathis. But what these people are posting makes me go, They're posting screenshots, folks, of financial records, financial transactions made by Tony Mathis, the spokesperson for Seth. And these financial transactions of Tony giving that particular YouTuber money to do what that YouTuber is doing to the Proudfoots. I think that's a big.
If that's true, oh my goodness.
Tone's in trouble.
You're paying other YouTubers to harass or whatever the Proudfoots? Come on now. Like, what in God's name is wrong with these people? See? This is insane to me. Wow. And I'm not going to say that I don't believe this, guys. It's not that hard to believe, truly. He said that Tony here, there were screenshots. I'll pull it up and see if I can find them. But there's screenshots in the YouTube group, or the Facebook group, I'm sorry, where Tony, it shows financial transactions where Tony's giving other YouTubers money to do certain things to the Proudfoots. That is insane to me. How does any of that find this child? It's alleged, of course, guys. It's absolutely alleged, but
right. Debbie, Sheriff Sonny Weatherford was at a convention, a sheriff's convention in Gatlinburg, and he had an apparent unfortunate accident, and he
Oh,
fell
yeah,
and
he
hit his head, and he had a brain bleed that caused his death.
passed away. It is beyond sad that this is what this has all led to, you guys. If this is true, shame on everybody that's involved in that. Seriously, shame on you. Where is this child? It was a super chat? Okay. Well, then okay, that's different. But if they're making this into be something it's not, shame on them as well. Again, let me say this again. Where's Sebastian? Sebastian Rogers, where is he? Because nobody seems to talk about it anymore. Thank you, guys. Thank you for that, Captain. The Green Hearts to support bringing Sebastian home, guys. That's what this is supposed to have been about for months now. 6-7 months now, guys. Hasn't been since the first month. Sorry to say.
Big deal. And I think some things are going on. Now, Tony might not have ever sent money to anybody. It could be totally not true. But let me ask all of you a question, because this goes back to Tony and Seth Rogers going on court TV just the other day and been saying it off and on for a while, that they're not getting any information from law enforcement. They want law enforcement to clear Seth. They're not getting anything of anything. But at the same time, why do you think they're not getting information if they're not getting the information? I don't even know what to believe in. I'm just getting the information and I'm throwing it out on you guys and let you guys decide. But think about this, folks. Think about this. If Sumner County Sheriff's Office and the district attorney are in a court hearing with the Proudfoots, dealing with the Proudfoots getting harassed, and you had this guy, apparently, I'm not saying it's true. If it's not true, he can reach out to me and set the record straight. But I'm in possession of screenshots. A lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. There are screenshots where Tony Mathis is giving this individual who's doing what the Proudfoots are claiming are being done to them, giving that individual money. Almost like either giving them money to do it or giving this YouTuber money to egg them on to do what they're doing to the Proudfoots. And if that's the situation, he could face some big problems. And you guys, I see the chat. I see what you guys know what I'm talking about. Now, it just goes with, at the same time, I roll my eyes when I see these two go on TV and claim they're not getting.
So my understanding is that it was claimed to have been a super chat, but it wasn't. It was a Cash App, which that's definitely different. But yeah, that's a good point. If it was a super chat, how does it relate to paying for Miss Chibi's act? I agree with that, but I'm guessing my understanding is that it was actually a Cash App. So that's different, but still, where's the proof that that's what it was for? You know what I mean? We don't know that yet for sure. So, hey, Lori, good to see you, hun. Thank you for joining us. Okay, Leslie, he shows the recent got. Well, there we go. Let's see.
Getting this, that, and the other, and demanding more or less. And at one point, trashing the law enforcement. To get him cleared. I want this guy got cleared. But at the same time, these two individuals are working with a YouTuber who now is accused of doing bad things to the Proudfoots and possibly taking it to a criminal element here. No wonder the police are not giving them any information. Unless you feel otherwise. Now, a lot of you guys, I see people in the chat saying, well, I'm a little confused. I'm a little bit confused. You have to read the room. You have to pay attention to what's going down. Because I think a lot of people in the chat know what I'm talking about. Some might not, but some might be, left behind a little bit. We covered Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers on a continuous basis. We see what's going on. We know what's going on. Now, just talking about somebody, if the Proudfoots are saying in a protective order that they want to seek a protective order just because people are talking about.
Avery, thanks for jumping in. What this is supposed to be about is that supposedly Tony has paid somebody, another YouTuber, via super chat, or not super chat, Cash App, to do something nefarious towards the Proudfoots. That's what this is supposedly claiming. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to look into this a little bit more, because if that's the case, that's really disgusting to me. And it definitely could be that exactly, Sarah. So that's, again, don't make a rash decision on this yet, guys, because you know how this case has been. Still, You know what I mean?
I think that's frivolous and should be thrown out completely. Don't you? I don't think you can get a protective order against someone simply by just talking. But is there more to it that we do not know? And my sources are telling me yes. Like, we're talking about stuff where criminality, criminal behavior. Now, some people are asking, what can happen in this case? When a district attorney or the sheriffs get involved, it's a big, big deal. Like, I've talked about the Proudfoots, and I'm just using me as an example, and a lot of you guys, creators. I know there's Sebastian, or about this reported sighting about Sebastian. So look at this.
I'm going to show y'all something, man. Normally, I don't even put this out there, but this is where it's really got me because I got told to fake that image. I've done this. I've done blah, blah, blah. And it's just, it's crazy to me because you got teeny tiny TikTok Tony running his mouth. He's the one that put the words in my mouth about the video. I made one crucial mistake in that wording, which was the if. That's where I messed up. I apologize for it. But also, Tony doesn't tell you that the phone call that happened, after I left there was a phone call that Seth wasn't involved with. That he said, it's safe to assume, right? Hear what I'm saying, it's safe to assume. Or the next day when shit hit the fan, he calls me cussing me. But yet I said, hey, man, you're recorded. And he tries to backtrack his statements. I'm over all this, man. I'm not doing this to gain fame, notoriety, anything like that. I talk about what I care about and what I'm passionate about. What I'm passionate about is Sebastian. He's missing. He still ain't been found. And I could contribute by getting out here when I have nothing else to do, like sit at home and be a keyboard warrior. Instead, I get involved. I'm going to show y'all what Panoptics looks like when you see trees and what they look like. And I'm in the same area. So what you see right here is the hillside. See that? Now, let's go up. We're going to find some trees, guys. Now, they're all up and down this area. The little blobs you see, those are fish. Don't get alarmed, nothing big. Can you see where the fish are coming in and off? Now, look at the tree branches right here. Oh, my God. That is what tree branches look like. Brush piles, stuff like that. I'm pointing right over there. You don't see it on top, but see the tree branches. Again, they're all through this area right here. Tree branches, big mountain, big boulder rock right there. So I was talking about tree branches. Again, you can see fish swimming real time, all that stuff. Another tree branch. It's probably a rock area with fish hanging off of it. Now, see how wide this is? Let's do that. Now I'm going to see going on over there. Oh, man. Crazy how that works. How you can see the fish real time. But I don't know how to read this, right? I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. I'm sorry, guys. At the end of the day, I'm out here. I'm trying to do my part. I never meant for anything ever to go wrong. And I've always been big about speaking up when I made mistakes. I've also been big about, hey, man, separating myself from an individual who I think is he's honestly just a curse. He has no morals. He stands behind a keyboard and women pushing his, general thoughts out, but yet doesn't have the balls enough to pick up the phone, as he would say. What I'm going to tell you is I waited 2 weeks before putting that out, and I've said that several times. I never got an answer. I sat there, sleepless nights. My wife will tell you. I laid there trying to figure everything out, and I couldn't. Didn't understand. It's the fact that, I've got screenshots upon screenshots of where Tony's controlling the narrative behind the background, and at the end of the day, it's ridiculous to me. I begged my brother to come out here, and he likes to fish, man. That's what he does. Gives me company, especially the last couple of weeks doing this, because I had no answers, man. And I damn sure just didn't want to be out here by myself. It's crazy to me that I do this day in and day out, and I get nothing but hate and rhetoric for whatever reason. And it's ridiculous, man. Because at the end of the day, he's not, what has he done? He's not a spokesperson. Spokespeople don't do what he does. And he wants to talk about apologize. The last thing I will say, I need to apologize for putting this out. Seth had that image before anybody had that image because of one person that was on a video with me that day. And we were talking FaceTime. I got upset when she sent it to him. You can ask her that. Why would you do that? I waited before ever putting that out. The second thing I'll say is you say apologize for, hurting them, blah, blah, blah. One, go look at the videos I put. Never mention that it was him or say that. I said, I don't know. I don't know. But I know what I'm saying doesn't look like to be a tree. What I will tell you is that the many times that I've come on here and I've talked about things I care about, I generally try to keep some things out of the public. Always have. Because 99% of the things you do see in this water, nothing. They are branches. They're boxes. They're from a flooded town. And yet, you know, Tony has yet to contribute what? By going to the news and misspeaking and then having to get it corrected the next morning. You know, they're cited, right? This. I do apologize to Chris, Katie, and Seth. But I'm looking for answers, man. I'm not on at 2 a.m. in the morning with a bunch of women theorizing about how Chris and Katie did it. I also scaled back my opinions, how I felt about Chris and Katie, because truthfully, I don't know anymore. I don't know. None of us do. But it's okay for you to go in there and dog the shit out of them. But I need to apologize. Right. What I would tell you, man, is you're a nuisance. I think you're a crime sleuth. And I think you're somebody that interjects yourself into things that you shouldn't be in. And it's all about, oh, I'm a spokesperson. No, man, you've done this twice. And honestly, both times you miserably failed. You can bring up all my past. You can do all of that stuff, man. I talked about it. I'm proud of who I am today. And I love myself. Obviously something you don't. And it's clearly seen because you're dragging other people down. See, it wasn't about ever defending Seth, was it? Like you said it was. In these group texts where you're like, we need to go after Illuminati and Salty Lunatic and Barbecue and all these people. It's never been about that. It's been because these people question you. That's the problem.
Interesting. He was talking about Tony Mathis. Now, Tony, no experience whatsoever as being a spokesperson, claims he works for Seth. But what has he done with this particular case in a positive way? Remember, he just said the other day, I want everyone to talk about this case in a positive way. You positive. But what has he actually done? He basically pushed law enforcement away from Seth, where they're not even communicating with Seth. And the reason, one of the two reasons I can assume that I think is, one, he's paying another YouTuber to do things, or paying another YouTuber who's doing things to the Proudfoots, whether he's directing it, egging her on, giving her some tip money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. And two, putting out all this crazy information that required law enforcement to respond and say it's nothing but garbage. Legitimate PIs that were working on this case to find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers were gone. They left. They actually, one of them left as soon as he came on and said, I'm not even going to work with this guy. Caleb Harris's dad told him to get off that case in Texas. And for some reason, he jumps and gravitates with Seth. And Seth's not going to go anywhere with this case. And it's not going to get anywhere with this guy on board. But I think even if Seth got rid of him, because I say fire Tony, I don't know if you guys see, but he can do whatever he wants. It's his life. He can have anybody he wants on the side of him. It's his life. But even if he got rid of him, I think the damage has been done. I think the damage has been done. And I don't think law enforcement, I can't see any type of bridge between law enforcement and Seth. Like, I can't see the communication, I think, is gone. Because if you can file a restraining order because someone talks about you on YouTube, that's bad precedent. No matter how you like an individual or don't like an individual or nothing. Are we going to start getting into the business if a judge agrees with Katie because someone's just talking about them? But I think there's way more to it. You need to go through a certain threshold on this matter. But just to talk about somebody, because if that sets precedent, then anybody out there could just say, hey, a lot of debate whether there's a criminal case or not a criminal case. Is there a suspect? What do you do? But then people are saying, okay, all right, if Seth is demanding to be cleared, shouldn't the Proudfoots demand to be cleared? If Seth can get cleared, if Seth wants law enforcement to clear him, then if there's no criminal case, right, then the Proudfoots should be cleared. But guess what, folks? No one's going to get cleared until we find out what happens to Sebastian. That's the bottom line. All three of them are going to have this cloud of suspicion over them until somebody confesses, somebody speaks up, a witness comes forward, some evidence comes forward, something. Nick Barris elaborated on this situation yesterday, long post. I don't know if you guys seen this or not, but he said something very, very interesting here. He said some things that his speculation, but he also says he's been in contact with the district attorney. They call him General Whitley, the general. They call him generals. Almost like KFC, the general, or the General Insurance. Nick Barris put out Update on Sebastian Rogers. Each week I get several messages asking if there's anything new on the missing teen with autism. Sadly, there is not, but I want to keep sharing his information and photo here until we get all get some answers. I continue to check in with Sumner County EMA, the Sheriff's Office, my sources with the TBI, and District Attorney Ray Whiteley and others. It's now been 6 months. 6 months. I know there's frustration. We all have strong feelings about this and want the case solved. And hopefully Sebastian found. So what can I tell you? First, let me clarify about a post I took down a few weeks ago. I did so because of details in the post I probably could have explained better, and then comments took off with assumptions. I hope this clears up any misconceptions. I know many of you believe Sebastian is the victim of foul play. That very well may be the case. And many believe his mother or stepfather or biological father may be involved. All I can say is that to date, authorities tell me there is no evidence linking any of the three to Sebastian's disappearance. When I say they have been vetted, it means investigators have checked, double-checked, and triple-checked their stories, and they have all checked out. The parents have cooperated and have been interviewed multiple times together and apart, looking for inconsistency. So Barris said I did not know that they were interviewed separately, like Chris and Katie, separate. Katie in one room, Chris in the other. Trust me when I tell you, if there was calls to make an arrest, authorities would do so in a heartbeat. So many of you on social media and on podcasts continue to voice your concerns, and I'm right there with you. I do check in with the general, and he would be among the first to know if any charges will be filed. He cares deeply about this case and meets regularly with investigators for updates. He tells me there is simply no proof right now to support charging anyone with a crime. And you don't charge someone lightly without good evidence. You do that, and they're found not guilty in the trial, and it's over. Then if new evidence surfaces implicating the same person, you cannot charge them again. It's called double jeopardy. All this being said, no one has been officially cleared. No one. Everyone interviewed from the parents and beyond, dozens of people have had their stories vetted, but no new evidence can surface. So what happened to Sebastian? The mystery remains. The bottom line for me, children do not vanish without a trace on their own. Barring some very unusual circumstances, I think someone else was involved. But who? Nick Barris thinks someone else is involved. The problem is he lays out the situation and pretty much says that what we've been echoing and what a lot of people have been echoing is until Sebastian is found, these people here are not getting cleared. They can go on national TV all they want and gain sympathy and try to make the pitch to the American people. But at the end of the day, if Sebastian's not found, I don't think any of them are going to get cleared. So what happens? So what happens at this point? Now, I scour around other creators, and some of you creators do phenomenal work. Y'all, I know some are in the chat. Y'all have your ways to put out the message. Y'all do great work. At the end of the day, I think all of us, some people are team Seth, some aren't. Some people are team Chris and Katie, some aren't. Some people are team all of them, wish they all would get along. Some of them don't want nothing to do with none of them. But I think out of all that I just said, all of us, we want to see this. We want to see this boy found. We want justice. We want to know what happened. There's too much time invested in this to make it go away. We want this boy. So that's something I think we can all agree on, unless there's some wicked, evil people out there. And if you're part of where you don't want Sebastian found, then God bless you. Rest your soul. Ugh. All right. So what I wanted to show, a clip for some creators I like. This particular one is interesting. It's by Chris McDonough. He spoke on a panel, and this was shared on a TikTok channel. But he raised so much interesting point about law enforcement in clearing Seth Rogers. You want Seth Rogers cleared. Maybe the law enforcement should say some things to assure the public that Seth is not involved. And this is one of the things they could do. This is one thing that law enforcement could do whatever they want. It's not going to impede the investigation, jeopardize the integrity of the investigation. It's not going to happen. Law enforcement can say whatever they want and do whatever they want. Listen to this.
Chris McDonough, you have so much experience in this area. Give us the honest answer right now on where you are based upon what we know and what we've heard in this case. Will Sebastian ever be found?
Vinny, I have hope like you and everyone else that's a possibility. Statistically, 6 months into this, unless he did walk out that door on his own accord, that possibility gets lower and lower. One of the things I would love to see the investigation do is take that shift in relationship to father, the biological father, Seth. If he's at work, they have him on video, if his truck's on video, et cetera, and they can verify and know that's a possibility, then tell the public. Okay? You have to tell the public what your steps are so that if you think of a gigantic puzzle of, let's say, the Statue of Liberty, and you're missing 5 or 6 pieces, the public will fill in that extra piece, okay? Because right now, the public doesn't know. When they hear we have no evidence, the public wants to help. And that's who the investigation needs to focus on. Because again, if we go to just the fact this child needs medication, well, who's managing that medication on board?
Very well said. If Seth Rogers was working and he was at his job, law enforcement should just come out and say it. He was at his job like he claims he was at. He was at his job 6 p.m., 7 a.m. His vehicle's there. One thing I find very, very interesting, and I do believe he was at his job. I believe he's at his job. And I also believe Chris Proudfoot was at his job. I honestly, now at the beginning, I was always like, Chris could have left St. Jude's in the middle of the morning and sneaked there. And, you know what I'm saying? Because he worked at a crane site and he had an RV and he didn't really have a credible alibi per se. He had his RV in his truck parked at a campground. He could have jumped in another company truck and went, I've always thought that at the beginning stages. But over time, I think it's clearly established that Chris Proudfoot, I think, was legitimately at his job around that time. Now, I always wonder about that phone call the night before, the 3-hour phone call. So I do believe that Chris Proudfoot was at his job the entire night, or, at his campground out there, hundreds of miles away. I also believe that Seth Rogers was at his job. I really do. But one thing about both of them is nobody that I know of, have you heard of anyone corroborate that any of them were at their jobs? Did you ever hear a witness on either one of them? Have you ever heard a witness come forward and say, yes, I had eyes on Chris Proudfoot at that time, or I know for a fact that Chris Proudfoot was at his job or he clocked in a certain time? Because I haven't heard anybody. I know that Seth's PI at the time, Heather Michelle Cohen, said that they had proof that Chris was at the job site. And if someone knows, name a name. Has anyone come forward that said, hey, I saw Seth at his job that night, the whole night? I haven't. But I do believe that he was at his job. Katie Proudfoot. She's alone. So if they were both working, then that leaves mathematics, Katie with Sebastian. Katie with Sebastian. Katie alone with Sebastian. I believe Seth Rogers was at his job. I believe Chris was at the job. But maybe law enforcement should say, like McDonough said, hey, Seth was at his job. We can confirm that Seth was at his job. We can confirm that Chris was at his job. Just say it. I think it would give the public a lot of peace of mind. It will quell down the speculation about, if you got this person, you.
I mean, I can agree at that point that might actually be a good idea, because it'll take some people, not to say that it would completely end it, but it might cool some people down with all this drama shit, trying to, accuse per se because of that. I can agree with that to an extent. Just saying.
It makes it easier for law enforcement, because I can't imagine being in the Sumner County Sheriff's Office getting all these tips all over the place, 24/7, 365 about Sebastian. I can't imagine how many tips they got. We covered the Moscow, Idaho case. They had like 52 terabytes of data and thousands of tips. I think at this point, Sumner County Sheriff's probably got 10,000 tips, because this is longer than the Kohlberger case. Kohlberger case, he was out on the run for six weeks till they found the killer. This one is now 6 months. 6 months. 6 months is too long. But at least we're not making the case cold. What do we do at this point? Again, what's the solution? What can be done? What can be done to help find Sebastian? Now, this was a post that somebody posted 9 hours ago in the Sebastian Rogers group, talking about Chris Proudfoot having, now this was an anonymous person, I don't know who posted it, but they're saying Chris Proudfoot had had cameras inside his home and monitored what Sebastian ate. You guys hear about this? This is some information that's being shared around. Now, I don't know the truth to it, but I'll let you decide. This is just a depot of information. This is similar to like one of these groups where people post things. There's a YouTuber who did a members only late live last night, not allegedly with BJ. And during it, they discussed how they had initially reached out to many neighbors to see if they would talk, and that many said no. Some said no, but reached out later, and some said yes. This YouTuber said that they were recently told by someone whose identity they would not reveal that Chris kept cameras in the kitchen, the purpose of which was to monitor Sebastian's food intake. According to the source, if Sebastian was in the kitchen at night, an alert would go off and Chris would start yelling at him through the camera if Chris wasn't home.
I do remember, Leslie. Yes, I do remember.
Also, Sebastian wasn't allowed to touch Chris's food, allegedly, and Katie had to buy all of Sebastian's food. This YouTuber is generally reliable and hasn't in the past shared false info or let unvetted people come and go and say crazy stuff. I know many people in this group have commented on how food-centric the interviews that Katie gives are, which is interesting. Colossal popcorn. Remember that? Colossal popcorn. Snacks. Colossal popcorn. So she did share about foods. In one of the earlier interviews, they even spoke about how Sebastian would sneak food at night and how he would put empty jars back. And I believe she even said something like, I would tell him, you're not in trouble, just let me know if it's empty, which is a weird thing to say. Why even bring up you're not in trouble? This suggests to me that he would get in trouble for taking food. And the longest interview Katie ever gave on Queen Bee was centered around two themes. One was how hormonal Sebastian was, and the other theme was food. She talked all about how he liked happy ham, stinky Swiss cheese, expensive cake pops, boogie martinis at Martinelli's apple juice in a glass container. Very odd that I know more about what kind of food Sebastian likes than anything that might actually help find him. Thanks to the statements of Chris and Katie. Thoughts? Have you guys heard any? Is there any food element to this mystery? Now, they do raise some points there, but I never heard this on any YouTube channel. It's being circulated, and a lot of people are commenting on it. Did Chris control the food inside the home? A lot of things we don't know. We don't know what happened inside that home. We don't know what occurred.
I think that's a worthless detail. My child, when he was younger, would get up in the middle of the night and go eat whatever he could because he couldn't sleep. And a lot of kids eat when they're bored, things like that. I don't think it has anything to do with anything. And I think it's sometimes some parents do have to, regulate that situation. I'm not saying, don't let your kids eat. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. So.
Well, they may not have wanted him being a junk food junkie at midnight either.
That's what I mean. I think that has nothing to do with this specific case. Every parent, I did that too when I was, because I have the same issues Caden does. I used to get up at 3 a.m. I would climb up on the counters, get in the cupboards, get a spoon, get out the peanut butter, eat out of the jar. It was just weird shit that I would do. And my mother would, hell no, you're not doing it at 3 o'clock in the morning. No, that's not how this works. If you want something to eat, you ask for it. You eat your meals when you're supposed to, blah, 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 blah. But just don't get to the, what's up, Jesse? Good to see you. Good morning. Don't, if you don't want, okay, here's what I would do. This is what I did do. Because if we didn't have certain things in the house, he couldn't eat it. Okay. We didn't buy all that sugary stuff. I would buy apples and oranges and grapes and stuff like that. And if he was hungry, I told him, if you really are hungry, if you wake up in the middle of the night, go get one of those. I said, it's not really healthy to get up and eat at 3 a.m. and go back to sleep. It's not healthy to lay down after you eat. It's not, your food doesn't digest. So it's not good for you. But anyway, what we did with him was we just replaced that stuff with healthier stuff. If you really think you're hungry at 3 a.m, you go get yourself something to eat then, if you are for whatever reason. And, we kind of try to tell him not to do that. But if you have to, then you have that option. And we didn't have Hostess cupcakes and all that kind of crap here for him to eat in the first place. So therefore, it was going to be an issue anytime. So that's what I'm saying. My 29-year-old autistic son thinks he should eat all the time. We have this argument all the time. And that's Caden was like that too. He was like that. And he used to get Caden used to do this one. Okay, if he would get up late, per se, say he got up at 11:30. Okay. He would think he had to eat breakfast. It had to be breakfast. He would call it breakfast. And then he wasn't hungry, or let me say 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, that's dinner time. Okay. He's calling that lunch. And I'm like, no, this is dinner, bud. You missed lunch. It is what it is. It's no big deal. Okay. Or you had lunch, you missed breakfast. He had in his mind, it had to be those specific meals for whatever reason. So, because they focus on certain stuff like that. And he still does that sometimes. You know, I didn't have this or that and everything else. Okay. It's not that serious. You don't have to have specific meals. It don't have to be named a certain thing for you to eat it. It's just food you're eating. You're hungry, you eat, period. So just saying.
Leslie, Sebastian was reported missing on the day he went missing, that Monday, because it was on the news here.
February 26th.
Yes, he was reported on the 26th because we did get it. It was on the news here. It was not 8 days later. It was on the news here that day.
What are we talking about 8 days later? They didn't report him gone for 8 days. Oh, no, that's not true, Leslie. It was reported. I knew the day that he went missing, the 26th
it was reported.
February.
It was reported on the day he went missing. But they weren't on the news. They didn't go on the news for 8 days.
They didn't do any interviews for 8 days. Yes, that's true. Because I had questioned that, but the day he went missing, I remember talking about the very next day. So yeah, that's it right there. Put the junk food up, problem solved. You don't have to like police anything. If that's true, you don't have to police the situation. That's ridiculous. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. They did no interviews because I was surprised myself. I was like, where's the family press conference or any of that kind of stuff? Do you know what I mean? There was nothing. So
besides the limited information that all of them have shared, the limited information, what they want us to hear. Point is, you're telling a national audience. You don't want to basically share with the national audience. I mean, some people do, I guess, confess and share their shortcomings, but you're going to try to paint a picture as being parents of the year to a national audience.
Thank you, Murder Candy, for the super chat. Says it would make sense if he's ADHD and Chris works nights and is awake and sees him getting into sugary foods. Makes sense to me, especially with KP working. Yeah, I get it, but still, just eliminate those things. If you know you have a child that is going to get into this stuff at that age, just don't have it there for him to do. In their mind, they can't control this sometimes. Sometimes it's one of them things where they feel like they have to do this. No, it's not. I've lived it, guys. It feels like he has to do this. Okay. And so for us we just said, okay, we won't have it here. And when it's not there, that you can't do it then, you know? So when they go in to do it, they have no choice but to grab an apple or a handful of grapes or something like that. You know what I mean? End of story. Takes care of it all. Thank you very much, Avery. I appreciate that. And
Leslie, honey, it's okay. It's a very confusing case. So and you may have gotten confused with the 8 days because it was 8 days before they did an actual interview. So don't be sorry, honey, because it's a very confusing case. It's all
a mess. Whole thing is a mess. Yes,
it's a whole mess. So don't be sorry, honey, because it was 8 days before they did an actual interview, so that may be where you got confused. So
yeah, I think
don't be sorry, honey.
Right. I think that's
all
exactly
very
what
confusing.
it is. Because I remember when I did my first stream on it, or no, it was my second or third stream on it, I think, when I had first brought it out. I said, are they going to do a presser on this? Are they going to, are the parents going to speak on this? I was surprised. And then boom, all of a sudden they came out on a YouTube channel first.
It was Duchess.
Yeah. And there was no, they didn't do anything on the news. And I'm like, what the hell? This is a little different to me, but okay. So yeah.
I'm the best father. I'm the best mother. ever. But in reality, there might be more to it. Maybe they are the best fathers and best mothers ever. I can tell you, though, most mothers wouldn't behave like her if their sons went missing. I can tell you that. 6 months, look at her Facebook. Nothing. No searches, no pleas for help, no nothing. He's quiet. Nothing. Apparently now they're victims. We'll see what happens with that. And then he is still out there talking, but I think a lot of people feel like he's aligned with the wrong people, and he got led astray. Now, he's made a lot of mistakes. He's the only one that's been speaking out a lot about this case. And again, I think he's innocent. These ones I'm still, But I kind of just set back a little bit and just analyze. And, we're 6 months into this now. Let's hope it's not a year. But this boy needs to be found. I heard some billboards are going up. Good. How much does a billboard cost to go up? $1,000? Tell me about the billboard process. Can someone send me information about the billboard process? Like if you were going to put a billboard in Sumner County on one of the main roads there, how much does it cost? $1,000? You get it up for like a month, or how much? Is it more than that? How much does it cost to get a billboard? Tips at JLR Investigate. Please let me know. I'm inquiring a little bit about the prices. Big billboard might make a difference, particularly, on Long Hollow Pike. I don't think you can get big billboards up on there, but a big billboard in the area, $3K. $3K for how long? How long you get it? $10K a month? Yeah, different areas, different prices. I mean, obviously, if you do it in a big city, probably be a lot. Just depends on where you're at, I think, the going rate. But we're going to keep Sebastian's name out there. What's going to happen at this point? I don't know. Not too keen about this guy here. You guys might feel otherwise. Nothing else really going on, though. There is an event. It's called a rescue ride. I shared this before. Apparently, they're going to keep Sebastian's name out there. That's good. It's called.
Okay, so that's the new thing, I guess. I don't know. There was nothing really new there, other than what we heard. I don't know the deal with this, and I'm not gonna go all drama with this. I just, any little updates I see on it, I try to put it out there and see if we can make any sense out of them, because most everything doesn't make sense, sadly. So there's that. I don't know if there's any other info on this. Somebody said it's been all over YouTube. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of this stuff, you guys, unfortunately.
Hey, Dago, I'm fixing to jump down. I got work tomorrow, so.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me for a little bit. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Have a great night. And
right.
Absolutely.
Good night, chat.
All right. So let me see something here. Let me double check something too, just to see real quick. I do have another update too. Kind of interesting. You guys will be interested in for sure. All right. All right. This is an update on Sebastian's case. I like to show the news, any news updates we have, and then differentiate what it actually means. Are you leaving, Leslie? Well, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you very much. I hope you have a great rest of your night, dear.
Months ago, 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his Sumner County home. Tonight, investigators say the search for Sebastian remains active. The teen vanished in February from his family's Hendersonville home. Organized searches have been held ever since, but still no sign of Sebastian. The acting Sumner County sheriff says a detective has been dedicated to this case each day since Sebastian disappeared. And today, we spoke with Sebastian's father, Seth, who spent the last 6 months trying to uncover the truth of his son's disappearance.
As a father, you realize that a lot of things that you do in life is for your children. When they just go missing, You know, the only thing you think about is trying to find them, bringing them home. Everything else is really not important.
Residents plan to hold a vigil for Sebastian later this month to keep hope alive. Tonight on News 2 at 10, we hear more about how residents can show their support for the Rogers family.
We first.
All right, so that wasn't much, but it's something, I guess. So that's really all that's going on that I've seen, you guys. As far as that, that case is concerned. I'd be interested to know if this scenario is true, this whole being paid to harass people or whatever the hell's going on. I'd like to see some kind of proof of that somehow. If it's true, which I'm until I see that kind of proof, I'm going to doubt that. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Just based on previous experiences. That's all I'm saying. But I do have this that I wanted to show you guys right here. Hold on here if I can find it. This is an update in the Riley Strain situation. Lori, Truth. Well, that's fine, Lori. Thank you. Hold on a minute here. Like I said, I've still been following what's going on in the Riley Strain case as well, because there's still things that are actively going on. There's still somewhat of an investigation still going on too. And again, in here, I don't support one parent or the other. I support Sebastian. Right, Wildfire. I have to agree on that too. Excuse me. So let's see what this is here all about on Riley's situation.
Troubling never-before-heard details about the death of college student Riley Strain, uncovered by WSMV4 Investigates. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tracy Cornett.
And I'm Marius Payton.
I'm Lauren Lowry. We now know police estimate the University of Missouri student had potentially 15 alcoholic drinks before he fell into the Cumberland River in Nashville and drowned.
Let's go to our chief investigative reporter, Jeremy Finley. Jeremy, you uncovered even the bus driver for the fraternity event didn't want drinking of alcohol on the way to Nashville.
Well, that's right. WSMV4 Investigates has obtained internal police files of the investigation into Strain's death, and we shared them with a national expert on fraternities who says Strain's fraternity should be held responsible. On the night he died, Riley Strain seems at first in control. There he is in the black and light brown shirt, standing being served a Jack and Coke. Hours later, though, he would end up dead in the Cumberland River with a blood alcohol level of 0.228. But investigators with the Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission later determined he hadn't been overserved that night at the bars. So what happened? What investigators ultimately determined stunned David Eastlick, an attorney who ran a national fraternity for 29 years and now sues fraternities after students' deaths.
I was amazed to find out that he, was basically comatose and he'd been, served an amazing amount of alcohol.
To understand Strain's level of intoxication at death, police interviewed Strain's fraternity brothers at Delta Chi at the University of Missouri, who'd come to Nashville for a fraternity formal that weekend. Two fraternity brothers say while the bus driver was strictly enforcing no alcohol on the trip to Nashville, quote, the group was drinking, and that Strain consumed 3 IPAs and 2 vodka shots. Here's why the percentage of alcohol is important when it comes to the fraternity's own rules.
I want to talk a little bit about alcohol.
Delta Chi's national chapter's website shows on a risk management video that no alcohol above 15% can be served at fraternity events unless by a licensed third party.
If a chapter doesn't comply with these, they will be placed on a corrective action or probation status.
There is no mention of who else was or wasn't drinking, or if a licensed third party was serving vodka on the bus. Obviously, a vodka shot has way more alcohol than 15%.
This is basically a totally out of control party situation.
Police estimate Strain consumed between 12 to 15 alcoholic drinks before he died. It's unclear, besides the bus.
Okay, but in what period of time did that happen in? And how do you know from the bus ride to the time that they ended up in the bar that night? Thank you, Miss Paula, so very much. I appreciate that. And you are welcome, and thank you for supporting me in that. You know what I mean? That's what's interesting to me.
Where else fraternity members say Strain drank before heading to the bars.
Riley was 22 years old, a grown man by all standards. Nobody wanted this to happen to this young man. But how much personal responsibility is here versus how much responsibility the fraternity has?
It's the lifestyle of the Greek world, and I'm sure he has some personal responsibility because he shouldn't been doing it because he was 22.
Investigators' notes show by 8:40 that night, Strain begins to stumble repeatedly. After an argument with staff, he's escorted out at 9:38. According to investigators' notes, fraternity members continue on with the party. A fraternity brother told police he reached Strain by phone at 9:47, saying Strain was speaking with a slurred speech, and that Strain indicated he was on his way back to the hotel. Fraternity brothers wouldn't call police to report him missing until 12 hours after they discovered he'd never come back to the hotel. We took the police findings both to the national chapter of Delta Chi and the University of Missouri. Delta Chi would not agree to an interview, only referencing their prior online statement about the sadness of Strain's death. A Mizzou spokesperson said this was a private fraternity event and confirmed Delta Chi has no outstanding student conduct violations.
For the school to sit there and say they're in good standing, I mean, my God, that's morally offensive. I mean, after what happened to this kid,
a lot of parents are going to see this story. A lot of parents of college students will see this story. What do we learn from this?
All this stuff for parents about how they have risk management. They condemn alcohol abuse. They condemn this. They condemn that. It's baloney.
Jeremy, seeing that video is still disturbing even to this day. So I got to ask you, if Riley had that much to drink even before he entered the bars, should he have even been served at all?
Well, Marius, I asked that same question to TABC investigators. They say all they can monitor is how someone is acting at the time they are served alcohol. And they say in reviewing the video, Strain did not.
Well, let me ask you then, if that's the case, here's the thing, guys. I worked as a bartender in my wife's grandmother's bar. My wife has too. And I don't know what the rules are in certain places, but in my grandmother's bar, we'll just put it that way, my wife's grandmother's bar, if somebody walked into the bar and they walked up to the bar to order a drink and one, they couldn't speak clearly. Okay, let's say they were slurred. If they fell up and fell into the bar, which I've seen this happen, or they're falling over, or they're just being belligerent trying to order the drink, and sorry, I can't serve you. You're already at that point where if I give you something else and you leave this bar and something happens to you, I'm responsible for that. I'm not going to be that person. So we've done that before. Okay. Right, Debbie, that was true too. Why was he running? I don't know, Wildfire. He might have just, because he was drunk, thought he was having fun. Or there was something else going on. There's never been anything proven in that scenario. What alcohol percentage does Tennessee have? Utah is really low percentage, straight from the bottle. Nothing here is 100 proof. In my friend, a lot of stuff here that is 100 proof has been become illegal. So say he close to Nashville police station, but no cameras picked him up. Believe he was seen and heard enough. I believe we've seen and heard enough to say that he was drunk. 100%. Slurred speech, staggering, falling. He was drunk. So my question is we did see a video of him at the bar. Okay. He looked a little staggery, but we didn't hear his voice. Did they serve him knowing that he was trashed already? Because it's money. Okay. It's money. And people do these things. There's bars around here that has done it too. And of course they're not going to admit to it because that would be taking his responsibility for that situation, which could cause lawsuits. Allegedly, he went past a food truck and allegedly upset someone there. Yes, I've heard that too. Doodle says that he was wasted, but after walking around town, you would think it would sober. Well, depending on how bad you are, you know what I mean? When I got to that point, I wasn't good until I slept it off. Welcome, Noel. Good to see you. Let's see here. On the Lore Lodge, he found out that he had real alcohol in his system, like rubbing. Oh, really? Rubbing alcohol? That's interesting. That's quite interesting.
Appear too intoxicated when he was served. Now, the Strain family says they have a lawyer looking over police and findings. Also, we have requested all of the audio interviews, and we just got them this afternoon. We're listening to all of them. Once we get all of that details, we will be able to share with you what we have learned. Marius.
Jeremy Finley, thank you so much. We have
a woman in Indiana.
All right, so this was the other thing I wanted you guys to see too. This is really, really disgusting to me. This was the big thing. These were updates. Ethanol. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Toxicology. I went over the toxicology report with you guys, but I don't know. So that's there's going to be more to come out on that once they go through the audio, and there's other things that are being looked into too, I found out. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that. I usually do a lot of different updates in the late shows, so that things I don't get to cover during the other shows. So here, maybe that's what you guys are seeing. That is true what Avery says. A deceased body produces alcohol, and he did not have rubbing alcohol in his system. When I went over the toxicology report, I thought I had explained that maybe as some of you guys that weren't here, but yeah, that's true. That's how that works. And yes, in a sense, yes. But anyway, this case here is something that blew my mind when I read through this, and I went to this and I found this on this. I want you guys to watch this. This is insane. Oh, I know a lot of people that do that mystery. I used to. I know it's nasty, but I used to drink. When I drank vodka, I drink straight shots, but no big deal. Right. Yeah, I used to until I became where I hated it, and then I went to whiskey, so. Yeah, that's what Paul is saying is correct. So. I can agree with that too, Miss Sherry. So, all right, guys. I want you guys to see and hear this scenario. This is really nasty and disgusting to me. Unbelievable, but we've seen worse, I think. All right, here we go.
Is facing felony charges, accused of giving a 12-year-old she was babysitting drugs, molesting her, and then forcing her to engage in sex acts with grown men. We're taking a closer look at the court documents in this case with criminal defense attorney Brad Banks. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. A 21-year-old from Bloomington, Indiana, is locked up on some heinous charges. This is after police say she took advantage of a child in her apartment complex under the guise of babysitting. Naomi Florin is charged with 3 counts of child molesting, 2 counts of vicarious sexual gratification with a victim under the age of 14, sexual battery with a deadly weapon, 2 counts of neglect of a dependent, promotion of child sex trafficking, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Now, court documents in this case give us some insight into what happened or allegedly happened at the College Square Apartments over about a week's time earlier in July. And we want to warn you, it is really disturbing, but it goes a long way to explaining the charges that Florin faces. And for that, I want to bring in Indianapolis criminal defense attorney Brad Banks to talk to me about this. Brad, thank you so much for coming on. First, can we just talk about the charges that long list of really serious and egregious charges. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in these type of situations where you have these sort of, like you said, crazy over the top allegations, they're going to throw everything they can at the defendant, and I think that's what you see here. Whatever charges they could go after her with, they've thrown it in the mix.
Yeah, and if convicted, I imagine we're talking just decades in prison. If I'm looking at
Yeah, I would say there's a good chance of that if she gets hit with the most serious charges. There's I'd say a 20-year range would be something you'd probably see in this type of a case. I mean, this is an unusual set of circumstances. So
unusual is an interesting word. I'm going to say disgusting, as I'm about to get into.
yeah,
So
I mean,
let's
20-some years of doing this. Yeah, I've never seen something like it.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through it, and then let's break it down and get your reaction to each part, because it's
sure.
So the detective in this case submitted this probable cause statement to the court in order to get an arrest warrant. And it says, according to the document, victim 1 was staying with her 4 siblings as well as her mother and stepfather at her grandmother's apartment. I want you to keep in mind that this is a 12-year-old. The document states between July 3rd and July 9th, victim 1 and her siblings began spending time with Naomi Bella Florin, who they referred to as a babysitter. Now, detectives did a forensic interview with victim 1 and at least 2 of her siblings, and victim 1 told police that one of her siblings had told Florin that victim 1 was 14. Apparently, this was kind of a running gag, but victim 1 was apparently used to it, so she didn't correct the age. But remember what her real age is here, 12. Now, referring back to the document, it states, quote, Bella invited a male friend whose name is unknown to hang out with them. This male is believed to be 17 years old, and Bella told him that victim 1 was 15 years old. While they were hanging out, the male asked victim 1 if she was feeling him, and victim 1 was not sure what he meant, but replied yes. Now, the male reportedly began touching victim 1, and she told him to stop, which he did. But later, when Florin, the male, and victim 1 were in Florin's bedroom, Florin was taking photos of the victim sitting in the male's lap while he was grinding against her. And victim 1 told him again to stop and told detectives that she later deleted the photos off of Florin's phone. Victim 1 claims that Florin then had sex with the 17-year-old male in front of her. Brad, let's start there. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just better not have a babysitter. In the initial contact with the individual, setting it up, making it seem like it's 17 and 15-year-old, if that was true, is not a crime, because that's within the age range that would be legal. Under the age of 14, it is automatically child molest. So
is mistake of age a crime, a defense?
So yeah, for the 17-year-old in this situation, it would be. The 17-year-old is probably fine. It would be the babysitter that's going to be, and this is where you get the promoting and all those kind of charges coming into play.
But isn't that kind of grooming, right? In the sense, putting the age aside, when you have sexual relations with somebody in front of a victim, you're trying to. I've seen this before, right? It's
for sure. Yeah. No, she's setting her up to, I guess, desensitize her to these activities. Probably, if I had to guess, with the idea of what you'll talk about later, some of the other things she's going to have this kid engage in.
Hey, I want to take a quick sidebar from Sidebar to tell you guys about Wondery's awesome podcast, American Scandal. You can listen right now and explore the biggest political corruption scheme in U.S. history. Named after one of the oil. Follow American Scandal on .fm/LC Sidebar. So the document goes on to state, quote, during this occasion of hanging out with this male, Bella gave victim 1 an unknown pill, which victim 1 believes came from a prescription of Bella's. The male also rolled a blunt and passed it to victim 1, at which point victim 1 looked at Bella for guidance, and Bella was giving her a look to smoke it, which victim 1 did. The male also tried to pass the blunt to victim 1's younger siblings, but victim 1 said no to them smoking it. So, Brad, now we have drugs being introduced into the situation, and even if the 17-year-old believes the victim is older than she really is, all of those siblings are 11 years younger.
Right. Yeah. And that's where those contributing delinquency minor, those type of charges come into play. You start providing illegal substances to a minor, you're going to get charged with that across the board. So she's facing some pretty significant charges there. They could even file a neglect of a dependent type charges in these situations too, because these children were left in her care, right? So if you're supposed to be providing care to kids and you're doing these kind of things, there's no doubt that could result in felony neglect charges too. I think with some of the other charges they had, they didn't lock some of those in, but with these other minor children, now you've got her being introduced to some sort of, who knows what kind of pill, that's putting her in a compromised position more so than you already is. I mean, imagine being in her shoes, the babysitter's like showing you sex and trying to introduce you to sex, and now introducing drugs into your system. I mean, the overwhelming just sense of dread that 12-year-old must have been going through to try to processing that. What is going on here? This is my babysitter,
Yeah, somebody who's supposed to care for her and
Right.
responsibility. So the next day, victim one, says Florin, also known as Bella, gave her another pill and a weed vape pen to smoke, and then took her upstairs to the apartment of a man referred to as Rat Guy. That doesn't send chills down your spine. So police now say that Rat Guy is 54-year-old Matthew Brown. The probable cause statement reads, victim one indicated that Bella told her that she does things for Matthew in exchange for money to help pay for rent. When victim one and Bella got to Matthew's apartment, Bella took her shirt off, exposing her breasts. And victim one asked Bella if she should take her shirt off, and Bella told her to. Now, we're not going to get into the details of what happens next because it's just way too graphic and upsetting, but victim one accuses both Florin and Matthew Brown of sexual assault. Victim one told police that Florin again took photos of her during the sex acts, and Matthew gave victim one and Florin each a $20 bill on the way out, but Florin allegedly took victim one's $20 and kept it for herself. Brad, how disgusting is that?
Yeah, now you're getting into those promotion, child trafficking type charges when you're taking your victim and sharing them, if you will, with the Rat Guy or whatever his name is. And again, the 12-year-old is getting exposed to all this stuff and then being taken to somebody she's already knows as the Rat Guy. So obviously there's a negative connotation with this guy before she even goes up there. And now she's being introduced to more sexual contact with him. Just a nightmare from her situation. I do think it'll be interesting to see. The gentleman's 54 years old. The report says at some point he thinks, oh wait, she might not be the age that I'm being told she is, and asks them to leave. 17-year-old being told an age and doing something with somebody versus a 54-year-old. Not realizing somebody is 12 years old, I think is going to be a tougher sell for him. And I would be surprised if he isn't facing some charges for his involvement in this as well.
It's interesting you say that. We couldn't confirm that, whether he or anybody else has been facing charges other than Florin. And clearly, I'll also add that's why she's facing the molestation charges as well when you hear stuff like this. Yeah, we just don't know if at this point he is facing charges. But let me go back to this. So victim one claims that this was not the end of her torture. No, she says the next night, Florin took her to another apartment. And although she wasn't sure which one it was, there were two men there. And she says Florin gave her another unknown pill and that all four of them smoked marijuana and drank alcohol. Remember, she's 12 years old. Again, I just want to reemphasize that. Now, victim one says that she was incredibly impaired, but remembers one of the men raping her, 12-year-old child. According to victim one, Florin told the men the girl was 18. So now I guess, we're talking, Brad, they don't know that she's not younger than 18. Again, is the mistake of age a defense really here? And the emphasis is put on Florin here because she knows the truth. But what was your take on this?
Yeah, this is a real interesting part of the case because at least from what I read in the police reports and the probable cause, they don't even know who these two individuals are yet, or they're not identified in the paperwork. So if they're able to identify them, Indiana has a new law that just went into effect where if basically you can be convicted of rape if the person is unable to consent. So even if even if you believed a 12-year-old was of age, which is hard to imagine, but even if you believed that, this intoxication she's being put under now would put it in a category potentially still of a rape charge because she's impaired. And she really expresses in that police report that this time around, whatever drug she was given, she's really out of it. I mean, she's really feeling intoxicated. And, at 12 years old, it's just not things you would know. I mean, you would know this is something unusual, right? Because you're getting exposed to this. And again, the babysitter is exposing her to other, other atrocious behavior. And it's just crazy. Now, there, and you'll probably get into this, but there's some evidence they find that makes it seem like
you're leading me right into it. Let me talk about this. So, police, they end up searching Florin's apartment, and they interview her and they interview Matthew Brown. And according to the affidavit, Brown said that Florin told him this 12-year-old was really 21 years old, but he told police he started to think that wasn't true. Okay. And in addition to multiple bottles of prescription pills found in Florin's apartment, police also seized her cell phone. And the detective states in the court documents, quote, "I asked Bella if she had any pictures on her phone that would be concerning, and she advised that she did not, other than pictures of drugs. I asked for Bella's consent for her passcode, which she provided. I ultimately was able to access her phone. And in the recently deleted folder of the photos album, I located numerous photos of Bella and victim 1 exposing their breasts." And the document concludes, most of Florin's description of what happened when victim 1 was with her was all consistent with victim 1's description of the people and places they visited. However, while they were all consistent, other than what Florin admitted to happening at Matthew's residence, she denied the other sexual allegations. So, the account, Brad, is one thing, but the evidence is another thing as well.
Yeah, and this is where the cases that involve sex crimes are always tough, right? Because a lot of times the state or the prosecutor just has the victim's statement, right? And that's it. There's no DNA. There's the rape kit comes back without any evidence that's very helpful. There's no other supporting information. But when you have evidence like this, where the victim's story is being corroborated by these photographs, and then you've got the babysitter lying about the photographs' existence, and she tried to trash them and just didn't realize your pictures don't do anything other than go in a deleted folder. Now you've got this consciousness of guilt with her. You've got this evidence that corroborates the victim's story. And so now that's why I think the police are going to take very seriously these other allegations involving these 2 other gentlemen that they haven't, doesn't look like they've necessarily fully pieced together yet. But I think they're going to believe everything this little girl's had to say.
It's hard to imagine that people do this. I know these are allegations. She's innocent until proven guilty, but taking them as true, it's always, every time I cover these cases, it's hard to imagine that people subject children to this and abuse children like this. But I am curious, given these heinous charges, very serious charges, in your experience, would a plea deal be on the table? And why do I say that? I say that so many times because do you want to expose these children, particularly this 12-year-old, to having to testify about this? The pain, the heartache of going through it. And is that fair? A plea deal? Should she get a plea deal after what she's accused of doing?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something the prosecutor always has to take into account. Is you want justice, you want this person to be in prison as long as possible, but you also don't want to put the 12-year-old through the dramatic process of sitting in front of 12 strangers in front of this scary courtroom and having to explain it all over again and relive the whole events again in their life. So, one of the things that defendants get a mitigation in their sentence, or something the judge is supposed to consider, is when they take responsibility for their actions. Part of that is in part because you're not making the victim have to relive those terrible things that have happened to them. So usually they'll give some sort of incentive in a plea. Not uncommon to see one that has like a cap of executed time in prison, so that the defendant can argue for something less. All sides knowing most likely that there's going to be a pretty harsh sentence in a case like this, but it gives something for the defendant to work with, and it saves the victim the trauma of having to relive this. Because how these cases work. This girl's hopefully going to get in some counseling and some therapy and be 9 months to a year into that, and then that's when a trial would probably happen. And now you've taken all that good work they've done and undone it if she has to go and relive it in front of 12 strangers.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. Such a sad case. Horrible, horrible stuff. So, Brad, before we end things, by the way, you looked into this case and there was another charge that Florin was facing?
Yeah, there's another charge that looks like it happened after this one, probably while it was under investigation for a theft from a Kroger, where a Kroger store clerk approached her because she was shopping in the Kroger with her dog in the store. The dog defecated somewhere in the store and she didn't clean it up. And so the Kroger store worker confronted her with it, and she refused to address it and just left the store without paying for any of her stuff in her cart.
Wow.
So, a lot going on with this young lady.
Apparently. All right. Well, she's facing a lot of trouble. Brad Banks, thanks for coming on, breaking it down
Absolutely.
for us, researching for us. Really appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Absolute insanity, you guys. How do these people get away with this? How do these people do these things? That's disgusting to me. I'm sorry, but every bit of that is absolute insanity. I can't get over it. I can't. It's nuts to me. Welcome, Mayhem and Miracles. Good to see you. Appreciate that very much. And I'm gonna follow this along. I want to see what this girl gets charged with and what the outcome is for her sentence, because that's horrific to me. That poor little girl, 12-year-old little girl, probably looked up to this woman, her babysitter, her protector. Okay. And when you can't, these kids are being failed so many different ways, you guys. It's so sad to me. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody that would yeah, I agree with you. It's so sad, guys. It's every day. Every day I could pull something up here and show you something like this every single day. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. Jesus God. Mental deprivation. I mean, she's probably gonna try it, Paula, but obviously we know she doesn't. These kids, somebody like that is just a piece of shit. Sorry. Oh my God. What a piece of work. What in God's name is wrong with you? And for the child's parents, oh my God, I can't even imagine what these parents are going through, having to deal with that, And that poor baby. She's not a baby at 12, but still, to me, that's a baby. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. Innocence lost, guys, for no reason whatsoever. Because this woman was basically prostituting, trafficking this child throughout the entire apartment building. I've never seen anything like that before. Very sad, very sad, very sad. Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I gotta grab something. All right, back I am. Well, I think she was staying, from my understanding from what I heard in the beginning, Lori, is I think she was staying with a grandmother or something. And while that was happening, she was being babysat by this other girl for whatever. Winnie the Pup, hello. I don't know. It's very disturbing though, you guys. Very, 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 very disturbing. Good God. I just couldn't believe that when I saw that. I said, yeah, I got to share this with them because that's just insane to me. So much of this horrible stuff going on, you guys. It's really, really, it is. Man. So I did see in my comments that Miss Carrie Michaels, Angel's mom, Angel Turner, a case I covered yesterday, her mother did comment, so she did see it. I'm grateful for that, very much so. And I hope that it does help what we put out. I really do. I hope. I pray that they find something. Oh, I'm going to, Molly. I'm going to look into it too, and probably talk about it in here, because that's a pretty crazy scenario. So, all right, y'all. I think I'm gonna shut this down. We're about almost at 3 hours. My son's home. I haven't seen him all day. I'm gonna go talk to him and hang out with him a little bit before we all hit the bed. But I appreciate you guys jumping in for the late show tonight. Oh, I got you, Mystery. Yes. And I will be here tomorrow, early afternoon, hopefully. We got some stuff to do tomorrow around the house and all that. But then other than that, we will be here. I will be here. Yeah, absolutely. I do agree with that one. And thank you, Miss Paula. Other than that, I'm going to hit the bed, folks, because I didn't sleep much last night. I haven't been sleeping much at all. So I appreciate you guys so very much for joining me tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out and going over this stuff. I appreciate you guys much for that. I hope to see you guys all tomorrow. I hope you all have an amazing rest of your night. Get some amazing sleep. And don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. And don't change a thing. You guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate you so very much. God bless. Good night. Much love, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.